that the first arrest has been made, and we hope that future arrests will also be happening very soon, because the FIR was registered against 5 in this entire matter. So this is getting bigger by the day as we speak, because we were the first to report, and action is happening right now as we see, because these were the horrific visuals that we got. And the arrest that has been made is very significant, because Vijayalakshmi is the caretaker. She is the one who was seen in the video abusing the toddlers in the video. As you can see, these toddlers, little toddlers, were locked inside the bathrooms. As you can see the video, they were physically tortured. The toddlers were physically tortured, and that too for a very long time. And just imagine, Shivangi, the video came out, and you can understand how long this might have continued, since how long this must have been the practice there by all those accused who are involved. Now, a significant development by the police in this case, where the caretaker, whose name is Vijayalakshmi, now this is the first arrest, and police are tracking other accused in this matter. But the case was registered under the Juvenile Justice Act, that is the JJ Act, and investigators were working towards finding all the accused and investigating the matter. Over to you, Shivangi.
That's right. Hold on, Shivam. Getting some more breaking news coming in. 2 women arrested. Now, we know 2 women are arrested so far. So, first arrest was made a short while back. 1 more woman has been arrested. These are nannies and caregivers, by the way. So, there were 5 names in the FIR. Police have arrested 2 women in connection with the alleged child abuse case at the daycare center. Among those arrested is Vijayalaxmi and another woman as part of the ongoing investigation. Police are now preparing to arrest the remaining accused as a probe into the case continues. So now 2 have been arrested. That means there are 3 more that could be arrested. There were 5 names, at least 5 names in the FIR. These are nannies. And the next step would be that the police would be definitely interrogating these nannies, Shivam, and that is very important, because what we see on our screens is an absolutely horrific way of treating small children. More than that, they're breaking the trust of the parents. The parents put their children in these daycare centers because they want to make sure the children are well fed, they're taken care of while they are working. Nobody wants to see that the child being abused this way. They had trust in the system, especially when we talk about the daycare facility at the IT company.
Yes, definitely, because it sends the parents to guilt conscious also, because they blame themselves also why they chose the particular daycare in this instance, because the working parents have no other option other than to send their children to a daycare, and nobody would imagine that their children will meet such a fate, where the nannies, who are monsters in this case, I'll call them monsters, the way they were behaving with the toddlers in this case. Now there is another update in this case, because as you very well said, because there were 5 in this case, the FIR was registered against 5 accused in this case, and the first was of Vijayalakshmi, and this is the another arrest that has happened. The 5 arrests will be done soon, we hope, because the police is in action mode because of the intensified pressure and the video revelation, and also the statement by Capgemini in this case. Now the police have arrested 2 women in connection with this child abuse case. It's a daycare horror which nobody wants to see. The visuals were horrific, how they were locked inside the bathroom, how they were kept inside the washing machine, the front load washing machine, as you can imagine. They were made to sit on the toilet seat and whatnot, the kind of horrific incidents, and the way they wanted to punish the children. And this has a very long-lasting negative impact on the child's brain, on the future, on how the child will behave in the future. So there should be strictest of punishment that should be given to all the accused in this case, including all the 5 accused, because 2 have been arrested, and it's important to note that the ones who have been arrested are the ones who can be seen in the video abusing the children, abusing and torturing the children, the toddlers in this video. So the toddlers were locked inside the bathroom, and they were tortured for a very long time. Thankfully, the video came out and it got reported and it was circulated, and we were the first to break the news and stick to the news, and we pressurized the authorities that action should be taken in this matter, and we kept on reporting this incident. And this incident, after this incident happened, and now there is a big update, a very big update, where 2 arrests have been made in this entire case, Shivangi.
That's right. Well, thank you for getting us all those details, Shivam. I'll be coming back to you for more. We'll come back to our colleague Abhishek as well, who's tracking the story from Bengaluru. Okay, let's move ahead, viewers. Some of the other stories that we are tracking comes from Manipur. Ethnic tensions have broken out once again in Manipur. Kukis have marched into the Meitei-dominated village, trying to destroy a blockade designed to prevent supplies from reaching them. We have this report for you. Take a look.
Around 1,000 cookies from Leimakong village marched down to a Meitei-dominated village. The purpose of their march: to try to destroy barricades blocking supply of essential commodities to their own village. The cookies say the blockade of the National Highway 2 has starved them of essential commodities. Security forces intervened and dispersed the crowd by firing multiple tear gas shells to prevent a confrontation.
The blockade imposed by members of the Naga community following the abduction of 6 Naga civilians by armed Kuki groups continues to disrupt the supply of essential commodities to Kuki-dominated areas of Kangpokpi district. After facing acute shortages, members of the Kuki community on June 30 attempted to march towards Kanglatongbi, but security forces dispersed the gathering using tear gas cells to prevent a possible confrontation. On July 1st, the Manipur government deployed security forces on special duty at Damdilong near Kangpokpi. Following the deployment, the blockade was intensified by Naga community with support from the Meitei community.
The blockade was imposed by members of the Naga community following the abduction of 6 Naga civilians by armed groups from the Kuki community. The hostages were later found killed brutally. The blockade has continued to restrict the movement of essential commodities into Kuki-dominated areas. Amid the escalating situation, the Manipur government issued orders deploying security forces on special duty at Namdilong near Kangpokpi to maintain law and order. 3 years have passed since the firing started in Manipur. Incidents like this serve as a reminder of the chaos that still lingers on in the troubled state.
And viewers, in the Tusha Sharma case, the CBI has moved court seeking permission to obtain the laptop password of the accused Samarth along with voice samples from Samarth and Giri Bala. The court will decide on this request. Sources say that the audio files obtained by the CBI are crucial to the probe, and investigators believe Samarth's laptop may hold key information. Meanwhile, teams from AIIMS Delhi and AIIMS Bhopal are expected to share details related to the post-mortem report with the court. Also, let's tell you both these accused. Yes, we're talking about the mother-in-law, Giri Bala, and the husband, Samarth. They both are in judicial custody till July 14th. And meanwhile, we're seeing these updates come in where the CBI had asked a court in Bhopal for permission to collect the voice samples of late model and Tushar Sharma's husband, Samarth Singh, and Giri Bala Singh, the mother-in-law, who are accused in the case related to her death. All right, let's go straight across to my colleague who's joining us. Satya Vijay, CBI is seeking voice samples of the 2 accused. When will we come to know, when will the CBI get permission to get the password of the laptop and the voice samples of the accused? Yes, Satya Vijay.
या बिल्कुल देखिए, आज का दिन तुषार शर्मा संदिग्ध मौत मामले में काफी अहम है क्योंकि सीबीआई ने 30 जून को एक एप्लीकेशन दिया था। उस एप्लीकेशन में सीबीआई ने कोर्ट से डिमांड की थी कि उन्हें इन्वेस्टिगेशन के लिए गिरिबाला और समर्थ सिंह जो हैं इनका वॉइस सैंपल चाहिए, क्योंकि इन्वेस्टिगेशन के दौरान सीबीआई को कुछ ऐसे ऑडियो मिले हैं जिसकी तस्दीक करने के लिए सीबीआई ने वॉइस सैंपल की डिमांड की है, जिस पर कि कोर्ट को आज फैसला करना है। इसके अलावा सीबीआई ने समर्थ का जो लैपटॉप है उसके पासवर्ड की भी डिमांड की है और सीबीआई का साफ तौर पर कहना है कि लैपटॉप खोलेंगे तो उससे कई राज फांस हो सकते हैं, तो इसलिए सीबीआई ने पासवर्ड की भी डिमांड की। इसके अलावा भी आज का दिन इसलिए अहम माना जा रहा है क्योंकि आज जो है एम्स दिल्ली और भोपाल की टीम को कोर्ट के सामने सेकंड पीएम रिपोर्ट का अपडेट पेश करना है, रखना है कि आखिर अब तक परिवार को या फिर सीबीआई को सेकंड पीएम रिपोर्ट क्यों नहीं मिल पाई है, क्या उसमें कोई बाधाएं हैं या फिर अभी सेकंड पीएम रिपोर्ट आने में कुछ और टाइम लगेगा। इस चीज की जानकारी भी एम्स के प्रबंधन को कोर्ट के सामने रखनी है।
That's right. Well, Satya Vijay getting us all those details. Thank you, Satya Vijay, for getting us the top updates coming in the Tushar Sharma death case. The investigation is moving at a very, very fast pace. Viewers, we move ahead right now. Pakistan apologists timed Track 2 to Indus Summit in Colombo. Now, the timing of the Track 2 meeting ahead of the Indus Summit raises many strategic questions. Desperate Pakistan holds unilateral Indus Waters Treaty Conference to issue empty threats, while Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri refuses to be aware of the unauthorized Track 2 discussions secretly held by former military officials and diplomats in Colombo, Sri Lanka. Historical data reveals a systemic risk of making concessions to Islamabad. Here's more.
Pakistan organized a quote-unquote Indus Summit. Now, the conference that they organized was aimed at trying to draw international attention to their terrible situation because of their lack of water storage facilities and their perceived fear that India's strong action against them on terrorism would lead to a situation where we would close the tap, and we are closing the tap, and we put the Indus Waters Treaty on abeyance. So they held an anti-India conference, the Indus Waters Conference, on the 29th, 30th June. Immediately, in India, their proxies started speaking, let's have peace, let's have peace. Let's be nice to Pakistan, let's talk to Pakistan. Immediately, on the same day, such coordination between the Pakistanis and their proxies in India, ladies and gentlemen, such coordination. Immediately, in India, the Pakistani proxies, the pro-Paki groups started writing letters, appeals, peace calls. Immediately, almost as if, and I'm sure the Pakistanis called them and said, thoda aap bhi bol dijiye. So the Pakistani proxies in India and the Pakistanis worked together to say, let's have peace. Now, this is not coincidence. It is well planned. And therefore, we have proof that the Pakistani apologists and their Indian enablers and the Pakistani proxies and their Indian enablers are working in perfect sync. Perfect sync. And I don't exclude anyone. I think all of them are enablers of Pakistan to varying degrees. Mehbooba Mufti, a higher degree, Omar, a lesser degree, Farooq maybe somewhere in between, Mirwais to a greater degree, the Aman Ki Asha gang to a great degree, Rahul Gandhi maybe to a slightly lesser degree, but they're all Pak apologists. The Congress party to absolutely times what they say to help Pakistan. So the nation wants to know tonight, why are these Indian voices, so-called Indian voices, carrying Indian passports, part of the pro-Pakistani ecosystem, suddenly pushing dialogue and calling for normalcy and telling us that while the blood of Pahalgam is still afresh, while the wounds have not healed, while Operation Sindoor is still on, we should be doing kawali and biryani with the Pakistanis. So first question is, we must question these people, expose these people, put them on the back foot. And I disagree with Congress leader Manish Tiwari most often. But this time I agree with him on one simple point that he has made out here. Maybe it is because he's being neglected by the Congress party. He's not got any great position in their Punjab news setup. He's feeling left out. He's trying to do a Shashi Tharoor, go closer to the BJP. But anyway, what he says makes sense. He says that the fight against terror requires firmness and steadfastness and national resolve, blah, blah, blah. To some folks, it seems that the misty-eyed romanticism of a dialogue with Pakistan is far more important than the lives of innocent Indian tourists who were identified on the basis of their faith. Why is it that the invisible hand that is incentivizing the push for pseudo-normalization with Pakistan without any verifiable guarantees that Pakistan will dismantle the jihadi military complex? Now, ladies and gentlemen, he has the right point he is making out here. Let me concede that. Let me take that argument forward, because any other country in the world, when they're attacked, targeted through terrorism, when there's attempt to target their innocent citizens, it fights back, rightly so. And it fights back, and the leaders of the country are the cheerleaders supporting their armed forces as they fight back. This kind of Aman Ki Asha anti-national ecosystem exists only in India. Everywhere else, this anti-national Aman Ki Asha, tukre kind of ecosystem is locked up for the rest of their life. That's why they stay in line. We have this liberal approach, live and let live. I feel we should get out of that mindset. What did Russia do during the Chechen wars from 1999 to 2009? The left parties, which have taken so much money from the Russians and the Soviets, should ask themselves that why did they not tell Vladimir Putin not to send troops to Chechnya? Did these D. Raja types, these Aman Ki Asha types, these tukre gang types, did they tell the Russians, please don't send troops to Chechnya, Mr. Putin? Please don't re-establish the control of Moscow. Please allow Islamist terrorism to continue. Did they say anything to Putin? They didn't. They will only say something to Mr. Modi. Be soft to Pakistan, be nice to Pakistan. Why should Narendra Modi be soft or nice to Pakistan? Ladies and gentlemen, when there is a war on terror, the left parties in India supported the Russian action against the Chechens. They want our government, the Modi government, to go soft on the Lashkar-e-Toiba. and it sponsors the ISI. What hypocrisy from the Tukre ecosystem. They should hang their heads in shame. And why should countries not defend themselves? Israel's war on terror against Hamas is still ongoing. It's 1,000 days since 7th October 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, Hamas, Houthi, Hezbollah continues to exist and Iran's war continues. Lashkar, Hizbul Mujahideen, Jaish-e-Mohammed, Dawood Ibrahim continues to exist. We continue to fight. And all these people who have no idea of history, oh, we should learn from the Americans, they are talking to the Iranians. How stupid can people get? How stupid can Mehbooba Mufti get? Does she know what happened after Pearl Harbor? Do I have to remind her that after Pearl Harbor, 7 December 1941, I think Mehbooba Mufti has not read any history. I always suspect these people are not well educated. Do they remember what happened after that, till 1945? We are not a country that drops a nuclear bomb on anyone, but the Americans dropped the nuclear bomb. Mehbooba Mufti, go back and read some history before you open your mouth again. You are appreciating the Americans. Mirwais Omar Farooq is appreciating the Americans. Wow, the Americans are very peaceful. Omar Farooq is also not aware of anything about history. Post 26/11, who chased the Taliban to the quote-unquote gates of hell and fought for 20 years? Who neutralized Osama bin Laden? Why didn't Mirwais Omar Farooq then tell George W. Bush, go for peace talks with Osama bin Laden? Why doesn't Omar Abdullah tell the Americans, or why didn't he or his father tell the Americans, sit down and have discussions with the Taliban? You see, they are hypocrites, ladies and gentlemen, hypocrites. Today, it's not even 13, 14 months since Pahalgam, and these people are going and saying things that are supportive of the Pakistanis, the ISI, and are falling into their hands. They should be ashamed of what they are doing. Absolutely ashamed. I say tonight, keep fighting. Keep fighting. If that is a country that wants to bleed us with 1,000 cuts, we fight for 1,000 years till we vanquish them and destroy them forever. Ladies and gentlemen, no compromise. No compromise.
Viewers, getting some breaking news coming in right now. Congress leader Salman Khurshid and PDP chief Mehbooba Mufti are attending the state funeral ceremony of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khomeini in Iran. The PDP chief Mufti was invited to attend the funeral of Khomeini, and we understand that it's not just her. We also know that Congress leader Salman Khurshid is also attending the state funeral ceremony of the Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khomeini in Iran. So those are the big updates coming in here on Republic TV, and the funeral procession is being scheduled as per details. The farewell to Khomeini will be taking place in the Imam Khomeini Grand Musalla Complex, Tehran, on Friday, 3rd, 2026. That is, it's happening right now. The funeral procession will be held on July 6th, and the farewell is being held on 3rd July, that is today. So big updates coming in here on Republic TV viewers, where PDP chief Mehbooba Mufti is attending Khomeini's funeral. This is the farewell to Khomeini being given at the Imam Khomeini Grand Musalla Complex, Tehran, today itself. The funeral procession will be scheduled to be held on July 6th after a few days. Okay, taking a short break, viewers. Much more coming right up, and we'll talk about the rain in a couple of places has now led to civic negligence, because rain has exposed killer civic negligence. 3 lives lost in Mumbai alone. Videos of civic apathy are surfacing from across the nation. Stay tuned, viewers. We are live in breaking.
Our Pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है? आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट?
स्वाद बनाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और परेशान, अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
AU सेविंग्स अकाउंट में मिलते हैं अमेजिंग बेनिफिट्स, पेपरलेस बैंकिंग एंड हायर इंटरेस्ट, वो भी हर महीने।
मनी 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 एवरी मंथ।
सोच बदलो और बैंक भी।
प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरी डे।
Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday I said that Bhagwant Man's problem is that in the process of covering up one lie, he is lying a second time. So to cover two lies, he lies a third time and a fourth time, and now he's in a big trap. He is doing everything possible to save his job, but it's going to become more and more difficult for him. Plus, I think he has some very foolish advisors. You see, this controversy is about a younger Bhagwant Man. He's about 52 years now, 52 or 53. And the video apparently goes back to the time he was 39 years old. This is a video he's released. Let me first show you the other video, the controversial video. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a picture of Bhagwant Man at the age of 39. And visibly, over the last 13 years, he's aged. There's nothing wrong with that. We all age. But there's a distinct difference in...
And viewers, much are coming right up. Rain exposes killer civic negligence. 3 lives lost in Mumbai alone. Videos of civic apathy surface from all across the nation. Stay tuned. We'll talk a lot about this next.
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाए जीरा से MTH का जल जीरा जीरा से
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
MTH
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
By the way, viewers, I'm driving in Delhi with Delhi wala boy Aman Gupta, who is too busy waving to his fans than talking to me. Please come down to earth, Aman.
Yes, I am sorry.
You're on my show.
I forgot.
This is not your show. This is my show. Stop waving to your fans. Be modest. Now everybody look. अरे आप politician हो. आप politician हो. आप ये क्या कर रहे हो? This is too much.
आपने बोला humble हो, मैं humble हो रहा हूँ।
You became very famous during Balika Badhu. At that time, there was a huge amount of fame and focus. Right? There was. People must be writing about you. The paparazzi would have written about you. There were no paparazzis at that time. You're not that old. Don't no, I mean it. There were no paparazzi. You were no paparazzi at that time. There were no paparazzis. This has happened now? There was no Viral Bayani then? Back then, it was just, you know...
What do you mean back then? No, if you keep talking, I'm over a decade older to you. If you keep saying back then I'll stop driving the car here.
No, I'm sorry. I don't mean...
What am I then? Back then. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday I said that Bhagwant Man's problem is that in the process of covering up one lie, he is lying a second time. So to cover 2 lies, he lies a third time and a fourth time, and now he's in a big trap. He is doing everything possible to save his job, but it's going to become more and more difficult for him. Plus, I think he has some very foolish advisors. You see, this controversy is about a younger Bhagwant Man. He's about 52 years now.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
A very warm welcome, viewers. You're watching Republic TV. This is Shivam Dutt Mehta. Republic School of Journalism, India's most sought-after live learning program, has now opened applications for its 2026 batch. RSJ was launched with a single mission: to train the next generation of journalists, not in classrooms, but on the field, live, as news breaks, covering elections, wars, and the biggest stories of our times, under the direct mentorship of India's best journalists at the Republic Media Network. And the results speak for themselves. 100% of students from RSJ's inaugural batch are now placed, working in newsrooms. The new batch begins this August, and aspiring journalists can apply online now at www.republicschoolofjournalism.com or call 836-999-5400 to know more. Now, let's have a look at the top headlines. Bengaluru Police arrests 2 daycare caretakers as the toddler abuse probe widens following the viral video. A 2-year-old toddler and a 17-year-old killed in Maharashtra due to negligence by authorities. Carefully crafted Pakistan campaign exposed. Pakistan apologists timed letter backing talks to the Indus summit hosted by Islamabad. Reports suggest that Mujtaba Khamenei to skip his father's funeral after citing security reasons. All right, viewers, let's begin this bulletin with a big breaking news development which we are getting from Maharashtra. Another case of civic apathy comes to light. A shocking incident in Nagpur has claimed the life of a 65-year-old Afroza Begum who lived alone in a rented house in Goswami colony, Tajbagh area. Now, she died instantly after suffering a severe electric shock while returning from a grocery store as live current passed through water. So this is the situation, this is the scenario right now in Maharashtra. As you can understand, there was a live current wire that was passing current through the water accumulated on the road due to the gross negligence by a municipal corporation contractor and the electricity company officials. Now, although police have registered a case of accidental death, local residents have expressed strong outrage, demanding that a proper case be filed against the responsible contractor and the officials, along with financial compensation for the victim's family. So this is not the first case, ladies and gentlemen. We showed you 2 earlier cases. These are all the 3 cases are of today. Just imagine the latest examples of how negligence can kill people. One is of a 2-year-old child who died. Second is of a 17-year-old girl who was electrocuted and died. And this is the 65-year-old woman who died because of electrocution. And this is the third example, the latest example, one among the many. As you can see, these are the 3 examples, ladies and gentlemen, on your screen. As you can see, 65-year-old woman electrocuted, toddler drowns in open pit. And we have another case where a 17-year-old was electrocuted. Three shocking, unfortunate incidents where many were killed, where 3 were killed, and the people are demanding justice. The citizens are demanding justice. They are alleging that because they complained earlier also, and how can there can be a current flowing through the water because of the water logging. All right, Revati is with us for all the latest updates in this entire matter. Now, this is the 3rd death that we are reporting right now today. Just 3 deaths in one single day. And what exactly was the reason in this case where the 65-year-old woman died? Again, the same case like the one in the 17-year-old girl case?
Right, as you rightly mentioned, one more shocking incident has emerged from Maharashtra's Nagpur district, where a 65-year-old woman was electrocuted and she lost her life. Also, the most shocking part is that only the accidental death report has been reported and nothing else is reported in this particular matter. The outraged local residents are demanding that an FIR shall be registered against the electricity supply Supply Department officials. But as of now, there is no action taken in that way. And as you rightly mentioned, the way 17-year-old girl Alia, who died in Thane's Mumbra area, in similar way, this 65-year-old woman also died in Maharashtra's Nagpur city out of electrocution. Also, she was returning after taking some groceries from the nearby shop, and she was living nearby alone in a rented apartment there only. And while returning, she was electrocuted as the water was logged and an open wire fell into it. So as of now, only the accidental death report has been registered. No official FIR slashing anyone under any charges has been reported. Over to you.
But it's a shocking case because in the previous incident also where the 17-year-old girl died, they said that we had already made complaints, and also in the third case where the 2-year-old drowned. Now, considering the facts that this clearly amounts to criminal negligence where people were killed. Now, what kind of charges are at play in all the three incidents, in all the three cases, and what are the demands of the public here?
So in the first case, as I mentioned earlier, which happened on Wednesday night in Nagpur, that a 65-year-old woman died out of electrocution, and she was walking back towards her home, and that's when she was electrocuted. So as of now, there is no FIR in this particular matter, but an accidental death report has been registered in Nagpur. Secondly, in the 2-year-old boy case in Pune, where he was drowned and 2 to 3 pits were dug for the flow of sewage water and the rainwater. While playing, he drowned in those pits as the water was accumulated. So in his matter, an FIR is registered by Loni Karbur Police charging a contractor, an unidentified contractor, and the work to identify these contractors is underway. And in Thane's case, as you rightly mentioned, that the residents, they time and again complain about the open wire, but no cognizance was taken about the same. So in the Thane's matter, the FIR is registered against the Electricity Supply Department officials, and the further investigation is underway. Over to you.
All right, stay with us. We have another development because let's go across to that story, because this is about the back-to-back cases of civic apathy. One from Pune, another from Mumbai. Now in Pune, a 2-year-old boy died after drowning in an open pit in Pune. Now the toddler Soham Lakhan Kasbe fell into a rainwater-filled pit while playing outside his home. The pit was one of the 4 dug for sewage and rainwater drainage and was allegedly left open without any safety measures. Now, this is the case where the 2-year-old died, and also there was another case in Mumbra, and this is the case in which 2-year-old died, and in other case in Mumbra, a 17-year-old girl died of electrocution while walking through a rainwater-logged area. She reportedly came into contact with a live current wire near the building's iron gate during heavy rain. Locals rushed her to a hospital where she was declared dead on arrival. Revati continues to be with us. Revati, especially in this shocking case where the 2-year-old died, the pit was open, it was quite visible. The authorities were negligent in this entire matter. What are the demands of the citizens in that location? And the family definitely is inconsolable because what happened to their family, to their child.
Mentioned, the Kasbe family is devastated because a 2-year-old has lost his life, and he was at no fault, and yet he has lost his life. Now the question is, though an FIR is registered against an unidentified contractor, but the main question remains is that who is to be held accountable for this particular incident, because as of now there's no clarity, or there's no clear picture on who is to be held accountable for this particular incident. incident. The 2-year-old boy was playing outside his house, and that's when he drowned into that pit which was dug for the flow of sewage water and the rainwater. And instead of flowing further, it just got accumulated there, and the 2-year-old boy, while playing, he got drowned there. And as we can see in those visuals, that a 2-year-old boy, it's a deep pit for a 2-year-old kid, and that's how he drowned in that particular pit. And as I mentioned earlier, now the question is who is to be held accountable for this, because an FIR is registered against an unidentified contractor as of now. Over to you.
Thanks a lot, Revati, for all the latest details. Keep tracking of all the developments. We'll come back to you as more details emerge in the story. Now, let's move on to another top story that we are tracking, and there has been a Republic impact here. In a major development in the alleged HAL Daycare child abuse case, police have arrested 2 women as part of the ongoing investigation. Among those taken into custody is caretaker Vijayalakshmi, along with another woman accused in the case. Now, the arrests come as investigators continue to probe allegations of physical abuse of children at the daycare center. Police say the investigation is progressing and that action is being taken based on the evidence collected so far. So this is the case where daycare operated in the Capgemini premises. Now, facility temporarily shut as precaution, and police was investigating the viral abuse videos. On the basis of the viral abuse videos, and child rights panel takes cognizance of the entire matter. 5 were booked under Juvenile Justice Act. All right, let's go to Abhishek for all the latest developments. What's exactly happening? Because this is significant. 2 arrests have taken place. Abhishek, what about the other 3? How is the case proceeding forward? What kind of evidence does the police have in this case, apart from the visual evidence that is already in place and the cases filed and the number of accused, Abhishek?
If we go by the timeline, out of the 5 people who are accused, only 2 have been served the notice and they have been taken into custody, and they have officially been arrested by the HAL Police, where the FIR is registered against these 5 women who have assaulted kids in various other instances. While talking to the media yesterday, Simant Kumar Singh, the Bengaluru City Police Commissioner, said that the HAL Police have already started their work and a team has already been behind these 5 women and also against the company where the daycare service was running. And it is obvious that the company had to maintain the standard operating procedure, even if it was given to a third-party agency to maintain the daycare. The Women Commission has already mentioned that there will be zero tolerance against any woman who has created any trouble to any of the infant, which is seen very clearly in the video. While talking to Republic TV, Nagalakshmi Chowdhury, the chairperson of the Women Commission, has also mentioned that the government will have to intervene and make sure all these women go behind the bar and face a stringent punishment for whatever they have done, which is evident on the video. While addressing the media today, the Home Minister of Karnataka, Dr. Priyank Kharge, has also mentioned the fact that the corporate company had to follow the SOP, not only the corporate company but various other institutions. The outsourced company had to follow the standard operating procedure. The company which uses and utilizes the location in Bengaluru doesn't have to. He also mentions the fact that the Capgemini and the Society General or the daycare company which is using the location in Bengaluru had to follow the rules and regulations of Karnataka as well. Capgemini will also have to follow their own set of principles and rules and regulations, which is not only bounded to Bengaluru, but also they have a global procedure which has been neglected, which is claimed by Priyank Kharge as of now. And also, he mentions the fact that the police are already investigating into the matter, and no matter what, no person who is involved in this will be let away easily, and every single person involved in the negligence when it comes to the safety of the child will have to face the legal battle, and also there will be a severe punishment against them, is what he has claimed as of now. And the latest update is that 2 women who are the accused in this case have already been taken into custody by the police. And
yes, Abhishek, stay with us. We have with us Shashidhar Kosambe, former Karnataka State Commission for Protection of Child Rights Chairperson. He's passed on the phone line with us. Thanks a lot for joining us. And because this is a significant development, these are the 2 arrests that have been made. But are you satisfied with the way the investigations are proceeding? Because these are shocking visuals which we are showing on the screen, and it has upset many parents. Everybody is demanding justice.
सर
yes
हेलो
yes
सर जो बेंगलुरु सिटी का जो सॉफ्टवेयर कंपनी में जो कापजेमिनी फैक्ट्री में जो डे केयर सेंटर में
जी
हमारे छोटे छोटे बच्चों को जो हमारे उधर काम करने वाला जो अब्यूज किया, असल्ट किया ना, ये बहुत खंडानारा है। और जो भी है हमारे बेंगलुरु सिटी के कितने भी एक अंदाजा 5,000 से ज्यादा डे केयर सेंटर्स है, कहाँ ऐसा सॉफ्टवेयर कंपनी अब दूसरे जगह में जो भी है वो कैसे हालत में चल रहे हैं, किस हालत में चल रहे हैं। क्योंकि 2014 में ऐसे ही डे केयर सेंटर में बच्चों वो एक्टिव नहीं रहना चाहिए, डीएक्टिव होना के हिसाब से वो लोगों को सिर्फ देके जो नशा होने का छोटा छोटा बच्चों को टॉनिक दे के वो लोग बच्चों को सुलाता था। वो बहुत मीडिया में पब्लिश होने के बाद उस 2014 में जो वुमेन एंड चाइल्ड डिपार्टमेंट के मिनिस्टर श्रीमती उमाश्री मैडम के प्रेसिडेंट में और सब मीटिंग हो गया था। मीटिंग होने के बाद 2015 में जो सर्कुलर आया कि बेंगलुरु सिटी में और हमारे तमाम स्टेट में एक डे केयर सेंटर कहाँ लाइसेंस लेना चाहिए और कैसे चलाना चाहिए, बच्चे कितना रहना चाहिए, किस एज से बच्चे रहना चाहिए, किस एज को बच्चों को कितना टीचर्स रहना चाहिए, वो टीचर्स वो बच्चों की जो डिप्लोमा कोर्सेस है स्टूडेंट का कैसा निभाने का जो भी डिप्लोमा कोर्सेस है वो सब कोर्सेस हो रहे सो नॉलेजेबल पर्सन रहे सो टीचरों को। और कैसे मतलब इतने साइज में इतना बच्चा 6 to 8 स्क्वायर सेंटीमीटर में स्क्वायर फीट में एक बच्चा के हिसाब से 10 अगर बच्चे रख ले सकते तो 40/60 का एक जगह में वो बच्चों को रहना, मतलब सेफ्टी मेजर्स, हेल्थ एंड ग्राउंड एंड स्लीपिंग के लिए जो भी व्यवस्था होने के बाद वो डे केयर सेंटर चलाने का परमिशन लेना बोल के ऐसा एक सुतोले है, आदेश है। लेकिन इधर ऐसे हालत में हमारे स्टेट का जो ऐसे चल रहा है डे केयर सेंटर, इसीलिए हमको बहुत संशय आ रहा है, अनुमान है। इसलिए हम सीएम साहब को लेटर लिखे हैं, जो भी हमारे बेंगलुरु सिटी के और स्टेट में कितने भी डे केयर सेंटर्स है, एक स्पेशल इन्वेस्टिगेशन टीम बना के वो टीम के दौरा पूरा तमाम रैंडम चेक करके जो भी रिपोर्ट है पूरा रिपोर्ट लेके जो अच्छा चला रहे वो लोगों को अभी चलाने के लिए मौका दे के, अगर कोई अच्छा नहीं चला रहे वो लोगों को बंद रख के जो भी बच्चे छोटे छोटे बच्चे हैं वो बच्चों को सेव करना चाहिए। यूएनसीआरसी के दौर से जो भी 18 साल के नीचे का जो भी बच्चा है वो बच्चों को बहुत खुशी से, बहुत गौरव से, ऑनरी से वो बच्चों को हम पालन करना चाहिए। देश अगर डेवलपमेंट होना है तो बच्चे डेवलपमेंट हो गए तो देश डेवलपमेंट होता है। वो हिसाब से हमारे सीएम साहब, डायनामिक सीएम साहब, वो बहुत उसको विषय को गंभीर से लेके वो तुरंत करना बोल के हमारा आग्रह है सर।
बिल्कुल, आप शशिधर जी आप कह रहे हैं कि पूरे स्टेट में इसका किया जाना चाहिए और इन्वेस्टिगेशंस, ये जो बात समझ में आ रही है स्टेट वाइज ऑडिट की बात भी सामने आई है, तो क्या अब आपको लगता है बहुत देरी तो हुई लेकिन चलिए शुरुआत तो इसकी हुई है और बच्चे और प्रताड़ित नहीं होंगे, इस तरीके से अब्यूज नहीं होंगे आगे चल के? हम तो लगातार इस खबर को दिखाते रहेंगे शशिधर जी।
थैंक यू सो मच सर, थैंक यू सो मच सर।
All right, thanks a lot. So this is he joined us and he made this comment. This was Shashidhar Kosambe, former Karnataka State Commission for Protection of Child Rights chairperson, and he said that he flagged all the issues in this entire matter on how children are abused in daycare centers and how at some places they're even drugged so that they could sleep and the nannies can rest and they can relax while they keep giving drugs to the little children, and also the way they are abused. They're brutally beaten, the little children, the 2-year-olds and the 3-year-olds are brutally thrashed, beaten, and these are the visuals of from Bengaluru Daycare horror, where the former child rights chief wrote to the CM demanding a state-wise audit. Prince in 2006, Wuhan in 2026, the broken civic system that continues to fail its citizens decade after decade. As torrential rains lash Mumbai, the city is once again paralyzed by deadly waterlogging, falling trees and exposed open manholes. Arnab questions the collapse of civic preparedness, the lack of accountability from authorities and the tragic real-world cost of urban neglect. Watch this report.
21 years back, in my first year as the editor of a national network, we carried a campaign for a young boy who fell into a borewell called Prince. And we fought so hard to get him out. And he was the child of a landless laborer. This whole incident was unfolding in Kurukshetra in Haryana. Ladies and gentlemen, Prince, after 4 days or 3 or 4 days of a remarkable All India campaign, was brought out by the army, and those are his pictures. And ladies and gentlemen, after being stuck in a borewell that was to be covered by the government, when Prince came out alive, I remember our newsroom wept, because we felt that we had the power to change things as the media. We felt that if we could put enough pressure on the people, that all these cases of willful negligence would stop, and no other prince would have to go through that kind of a life and death situation anymore. We felt the country would change. We really felt the country would change, and we were so happy when Prince came out. And I hope you remember the story of Prince, but we were wrong. We were wrong, ladies and gentlemen, because today a tree falls on a school bus and an 11-year-old boy called Vihan suffers critical injuries and dies. We saved Prince, but 21 years later, a 60-year-old tree that was supposed to be taken away, that should not have fallen on the school bus if the municipal authorities cared about it. The municipal authorities did nothing. It fell on the school bus, and Vihan died. The pictures are there before you, ladies and gentlemen. 5 others were injured. Vihan died. All the other survivors are between 4 years and 12 years old. So I share with you my extreme disappointment that while we saved Prince 21 years back, we thought the country would change. This country for the people has not changed. Because Prince today, wherever he is about 26-year-old, and even he would be sad that an 11-year-old boy died in a completely avoidable accident. This country has not changed for the people, ladies and gentlemen. And don't mistake this to be an urban catastrophe. It's not just an urban catastrophe. You see, viewers, there are 2 college girls this week alone lying there, electrocuted. You see the pictures there? Lying there, electrocuted on a waterlogged road. You see these 2 girls, ladies and gentlemen. They're right there in the middle of the traffic, in front of a bike, under an umbrella on a road swollen with rainwater. A man is throwing a white cloth on them, and he thinks they are dead. But then he's shocked as the bodies flinch back. The girls survive. They're out of danger, but they could have died for no fault of theirs. But just because we live in a country where our lives don't matter, and I want you to say tonight, our lives matter. This could be you. This could be your loved ones. How will we be a developed country? How will we be Vikasit Bharat? Now let me show you another picture from Junagadh in Gujarat. Do not think any of these instances is a out of the ordinary, rare instance. 1 in a million. Won't happen to you. Never happens to any of us. Don't think so. Look at these pictures, ladies and gentlemen. Look at these pictures. A couple fall into an open sewer pit on their way to work. This is Azad Chowk, Junagadh, Gujarat. Early morning, couple are on their way to work. Look at the way they fall. Look at the way they fall. Look at the kind of serious head injury that man has because he falls straight on his head. His neck, his spinal cord, everything can be affected. And he has a serious head injury. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not an accident. This is apathy. This is happening because in this country, nobody cares for the people, you see. The politicians in this country only emerge every 5 years. That also sometimes they don't. And in Junagadh, in another instance, imagine what that lady is going through. She doesn't know how badly her husband is injured. Imagine the fright, imagine the panic, imagine the pain, imagine the anxiety, imagine the trauma. And then imagine this happens all the time, everywhere. A woman with children and a motorcyclist falling into a submerged drain. My next case study, ladies and gentlemen, also from Junagadh in Gujarat. Just see that, they just collapse. How serious this can get. And if there's an electrocuted, there's an open wire out there, this can be life-threatening. But we don't care. We've become a country where we think, oh, these things happen, it's not going to happen to us. And then we hear that someone, our neighbor, our loved one, it happens to them, and then we begin to think and talk. We also saw the pictures this week of a worker falling into a manhole right in front of the mayor. This happened in King's Circle in Mumbai. June 24th morning, right in front of the mayor, open manhole, right in front of Mayor Ritu Taude's morning inspection, right in front of her, right in front of the manhole, the worker falls. Then the area is barricaded. This is absolutely embarrassing for the mayor, but this is the truth. I'm glad it's happened because, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be saying so. The man could be grievously injured, but it has happened. And mayors should get a sense of the reality that people in this country face. Because this is extraordinary. A 55-year-old man, I'll show you the next visual. He's there, ladies and gentlemen, just disappears. It's a normal day for him. He's walking across. You'll see a man walking, and then he is seeing something on his phone, and then you'll see him the next minute, he's not there. You just keep watching that. He just disappears in the next video. Why? Because he falls into an open manhole. He just disappears within a split second. And he dies. A 55-year-old man with a family just dies out there because private contract workers had removed the manhole cover. They forgot to put it back. And this man was just walking. Aslam Sheikh, he was just walking. He steps into the open manhole and he dies. Only his umbrella and slippers are found. So don't think this cannot happen to you. You don't live in a different country if you're watching this program. You don't live in a different country. And just day before yesterday, a 4-year-old died after a 21-hour rescue. Prince was saved, but the 4-year-old, Nirvair Singh, 4-year-old, who had accompanied his father to the fields to deliver breakfast and fell into an uncovered 22-feet bore well, he could not be saved, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to say this tonight, when you see these pictures, remember one thing, and we can put Prince on one side and all these incidents on the other, with just one message I have for all of you. One message. You are not safe. Unless tonight we make this an open public campaign and start screaming from the rooftops about it, then remember, you are not safe. And I feel today that 21 years after Prince came out miraculously alive, we continue to fail the people of India. There is an accountability gap in this country. 21 years after Prince, Nirvair dies in Haryana. 21 years after Prince, 11-year-old Vihan dies in Mumbai. If we don't say today our lives matter, then you're not fighting for your families, you're not fighting for your loved ones, and you're certainly not fighting for yourself. Put the pressure in this country. In this country, you don't scream, you will not be heard. I assure you that.
All right, viewers, it's time to slip into a short commercial break, but don't go anywhere because we've a lot more lined up for you. Coming up after the break, ladies and gentlemen, carefully crafted Pakistan campaign has been exposed. Pakistan apologists' timed letter backing talks to the Indus summit hosted by Islamabad. Coming up next.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा, राजा आरती और मसाला, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट, ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े।
चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk tonight about an incident where an FIR got registered against 4 people. This is an incident which has happened in Madhya Pradesh, in Ujjain, and there is this strange video which shows a van suspended about 40 feet in the air, and it's suspended with a crane, some kind of a huge big crane, and there are explosives which are put inside this van, and then the van is detonated. Watch this very carefully, ladies and gentlemen. This is apparently during a Muharram procession where the organizers fill a car with explosives, lift it 40 feet in the air with explosives, put a slogan on the vehicle saying, Le fir aage, which means look, we are.
Hello viewers, India's defense stories entering a transformative new era powered by indigenous innovation, cutting-edge emerging technology and a rapidly emerging expanding defense industrial ecosystem as the nation accelerates its journey towards strategic self-reliance and the vision of Viksit Bharat 2047. Republic brings together the policy makers, the defense leaders, innovators and industry pioneers shaping the future of national security. Join us on 18th July in New Delhi for Republic Defense Forces first conclave, Bharat, the defense powerhouse, where the spotlight will be on next generation military technologies, advanced defense platforms, indigenous capabilities, and the government and industry partnerships driving India's tech transformation. Stay tuned for insightful conversations, exclusive perspectives, and the ideas that will define the future of India's defense ecosystem. Time for the headlines. Bengaluru Police arrest two daycare caretakers as the toddler abuse probe widens following the viral video. A 2-year-old toddler and a 17-year-old killed in Maharashtra due to negligence by authorities. Carefully crafted Pakistan campaign exposed Pakistan apologist timed letter backing talks to the Indus Summit hosted by Islamabad. Reports suggest that Mojtaba Khomeini to skip his father's funeral after citing security reasons. Getting some big breaking news coming in, viewers. TVK Minister Arnab Arjuna claims that there will be payback for the Karur stampede, indirectly saying that will arrest responsible people from DMK who were involved in the Karur stampede. Meanwhile, cases against Senthil Balaji and his brother over TVK MLA's poaching is getting a push as police file 4 cases and FIR has been registered. So we're getting these updates coming in here on Republic TV. Let's tell you exactly what is happening. TVK versus DMK intensifies in Tamil Nadu. A couple of updates specifically around the Karur stampede. We can expect more updates coming in here on Republic TV. So, latest update is that we are also getting some reactions coming in. Let's go ahead and play them out as we track what's happening in Tamil Nadu.
எந்த இடத்துல காவல்துறை சப்போர்ட் இருக்கோ அங்க மட்டும் தான் பிரச்சாரம் போக முடிஞ்சிச்சு. திருப்பூர்ல போகும்போது காவல்துறை சப்போர்ட் இல்ல. திடீர்னு எல்லாரும் கிளம்பிட்டாங்க. என்ன கோயம்புத்தூர் மாவட்ட பொறுப்பாளர் திரு செந்தில் பாலாஜி திருப்பியும் அங்க இருக்க காவல்துறை அழுத்தம் கொடுத்து அவர் திருப்பூர் போகும்போது போலீஸ் எல்லாம் விலகிருங்க, 10 லட்சம் பேர் திருப்பி மக்கள் கூடட்டும், திருப்பி அவங்க இடிச்சுக்கிட்டு திருப்பி ஸ்டாம்பிட் ஆகட்டும், இப்படி ஒரு சூழ்ச்சி. அதனாலதான் கடலூர் கேன்சல் பண்ணப்பட்டது, கிருஷ்ணகிரி கேன்சல் பண்ணப்பட்டது. சோ திமுக ஆட்சியில் இருக்கிற வரைக்கும் ஒரு இயற்கையாகவே ஒரு ஸ்டாம்பிட் உருவாகட்டும், காவல்துறை எது சப்போர்ட் பண்ணக்கூடாது, ஒரு எஸ்ஓபி போடட்டும். அதனால தான் 14 ஊருக்கு பிளான் பண்ணத எங்களுடைய தலைவரால போக முடியாத சிச்சுவேஷன்.
All right, so TVK versus DMK intensifies in Tamil Nadu, and big updates coming in here because Minister Arnab Arjuna has said and that the DMK has now planned to move Supreme Court. Other statement that DMK is responsible for Karur stampede and DMK has now decided to move the High Court on the TVK minister's speech. A petition will be filed. So this entire story is becoming quite interesting because a legal angle is coming in as well. Okay, let's go straight across to Sharda. Sharda, what exactly is happening here? Now we see that the TVK has said that we will definitely be punishing those who were behind the Karur stampede from the DMK. Now the DMK is now decided to move the High Court on the statement which was made by the TVK minister. Yes, Sharda.
Yesterday, Minister K. Arjuna stated that it was DMK that was behind the Karur stampede. If you remember what happened last October 2025 when Vijay went campaigning to Karur, Arjuna made a huge claim saying that it was Sandal Balaji's area and that the police have withdrawn from Tirupur as well when Vijay went for campaign there. So yesterday, when two AIADMK leaders joined TVK, Arjuna made a huge statement saying that they did not forget Karur stampede, and this comes ahead that Vijay, as the Chief Minister, will be reaching Karur on July 10th for meeting the people of the all 41 families who lost their life in that particular stampede. So now, saying that the DMK is responsible for this, the minister had made a claim. So now, DMK is moving the court in this particular case, saying that a statement cannot be made by Minister Arjuna when the case is being heard by the CBI and inquiry is underway, and there is no particular conviction in this case that the DMK was responsible as per the inquiry investigation that's been done. So now, DMK is going to be moving both the High Court and the Supreme Court in this case, filing a petition against Minister Arjuna's statement.
Yes, absolutely. Shraddha, hold on for a second there. DMK versus TVK situation is intensifying. Political debates over Minister Arjuna's speech. DMK has now planned to move the Supreme Court, like we were discussing, petition to be filed in Supreme Court. Statement that DMK is responsible for Karur stampede, and DMK now deciding to move the Supreme Court on the TVK minister's speech. Petition will be filed. We were discussing this as well a short while back. We'll go to Shraddha in a short while from now. So DMK versus TVK on couple of issues, Karur stampede, and in the meanwhile, cases against Senthil Balaji and his brother over TVK MLA's poaching is getting a big push in terms of developments, as 4 cases have been filed and FIR has been registered in this case as well. So multiple issues coming up in Tamil Nadu, a big fight specifically over the Karur stampede. Who is responsible for the Karur stampede? When the Karur stampede had happened, it was a very unfortunate incident, viewers, and we did see a blame game between the DMK and the TVK at that point of time. Also, let's tell you, viewers, as Vijay is planning to visit Karur and meet the family of the victims who died in the stampede last year, sources are also confirming that Vijay will meet these victims' families as well. So that is something that is also happening. So a lot of updates coming in here, Republic TV viewers. Let's go straight across to Shraddha. Source-based information is also coming in, Shraddha, that CM Vijay would be meeting the families of the victims of the Karur stampede. At the same time, we had seen when the Karur stampede happened, there was a huge blame game which was playing out between the DMK and the TVK. Yes.
Well, it was no doubt that it was a political blame in the Karur stampede case. Both TVK and the DMK were continuously blamed, saying that it was DMK that initiated the problem of withdrawing the police, whereas the TVK stated that they were 7 hours late, and that's the reason that Vijay's lead coming was caused the stampede. So now, ahead of Vijay's visit on the 10th to Karur, the news is now surfaced that it's not just the amount, the 20 lakhs that Vijay gave when he was the TVK party president when the stampede happened. He's also now promised to give one government job per person in the family who lost their lives in the Karur stampede. So now, today morning, the again question rises from the DMK side as to if the statement made by Arjuna yesterday in the party meet, was it right, and whether the inquiry is going on, when the investigation is still going on, how can a TVK minister completely blame it on the DMK? So now DMK is moving the court against minister's statement. So now it's a complete political blame game again in the Karur stampede. We can see once again the TVK minister and the DMK at loggerheads in this particular case.
That's right. Okay, well, thank you for getting us all those details. I'll be coming back to you for more, Shraddha, on the latest developments coming in from Tamil Nadu. A shocking incident has come out from Nagpur, claiming the life of a 65-year-old Afroza Begum, who lived alone in a rented house in Goswami colony. Now, she died instantly after suffering a severe electric shock while returning from a grocery store, as we see that the live current passed through the water accumulated on the road due to the gross negligence by municipal corporation contractor and the company officials. Back-to-back cases of civic apathy, one from Pune, another one from Mumbai. In Pune, a 2-year-old boy died after drowning in an open pit in Pune. A toddler, Soham, fell into the rainwater-filled pit while playing outside his home. The pit was one of the 4 dug for sewage and rainwater drainage and was allegedly left open without any safety measures. Meanwhile, in Mumbai, a 17-year-old young girl died of electrocution while walking through a rainwater-logged area. She reportedly came into contact with a live current near the building's iron gate during heavy rain. Locals rushed to the hospital where she was declared dead on arrival. We have given you 3 examples of civic apathy. Okay, so look at these 3 examples on your screen. This is very, very tough to talk about, but this is what has happened. This is civic negligence. 65-year-old woman was electrocuted. This is a story from Nagpur. In the middle of your screen, a toddler has drowned in an open pit. This story is coming in from Pune. And on your extreme right, a 17-year-old was electrocuted. This story is coming in from Mumbai. All 3 cases showing that there has been civic negligence leading to this death. All these deaths. The question is, who is accountable? Who is accountable for the monsoon apathy which is playing out not just in Maharashtra, but similar cases coming in from all across the nation? Specifically in Maharashtra, as Maharashtra battles heavy monsoon showers, open drains, uncovered manholes, unsafe trees and exposed electrical infrastructure have claimed multiple lives within days, triggering fresh anger over civic apathy and poor pre-monsoon preparedness. Latest tragedy comes from Pune, where a 2-year-old toddler drowned in an open drainage pit, allegedly left unsecured by a contractor. Speaking about the visual which is in the middle of your screen, this is 2-year-old Soham, died after falling into a rainwater-filled drainage pit while playing outside his home in Pune. According to officials, 4 pits had been dug for sewage and rainwater drainage work, as locals alleged. All 4 were left open without barricades, warning signs, or any safety measures. So those are the visuals. Also, we showed you pictures earlier of what happened in Mumbai, where a 17-year-old class 11 student died after allegedly coming into contact with a live electric wire submerged in rainwater in Mumbai and Thane. According to local residents, the girl was electrocuted after electricity spread into an accumulated rainwater from an exposed and improperly installed wire belonging to a power supply company. She used to live in the city with her father and her younger brother. Her family has demanded justice and compensation. Okay, let's go straight across to my colleague Revati is joining us live. So there are 3 pictures on our screen coming in, one from Nagpur, one from Pune, one from Mumbai. And you're reporting from Maharashtra, Revati. Speaking specifically of Maharashtra and this civic apathy case, the question that we're asking here is, who is accountable for these deaths, which could be very easily avoided, Revati?
Right, as you rightly mentioned, yesterday a tragic incident also unfolded in Mumbai's Kurla area, where a 65-year-old man died after falling in the open drainage line, and it claimed a life of a 65-year-old man, and it was a mere case of a negligence. And same thing is happening all over the cities. Firstly, in Thane on Wednesday night, I apologize. Firstly, in Nagpur on Wednesday night, a 65-year-old woman died out of electrocution, and she was just returning after buying some groceries. That's where she was electrocuted on a road where water was logged and an open wire fell into it. An accidental death report has been reported in this case. And also, the second incident is from Thane, where a 17-year-old girl was electrocuted. Also, the most shocking part of that very incident is that the complaint regarding the open wire was constantly made by the local residents, yet no cognizance was taken of that very incident. And when the 17-year-old girl Alia was walking from that road, she was electrocuted. In this matter, officials of the electricity supply department are slashed under relevant sections. Also, the shocking incident came from Pune, where a 2-year-old boy, a toddler, lost his life while he was playing outside his house. And also, there is a mere negligence of the contractor because 3 to 4 pits were dug for the flow of sewage water and the rainwater, but there were no security measures taken or no preventive actions taken, which led to the death of 2-year-old boy and Soham Kasbe, and the Kasbe family is devastated at the moment. So now the only question in all cases is that who is to be held accountable for this, because the life in all the 3 cases is claimed, but who is to be held accountable for this? Over to you.
That's right. Well, thank you, Revati, for getting us all those details. The Republic TV, trucking, all these cases of civic negligence right here live for our viewers. Viewers, let's move ahead right now. The annual Sri Amarnath Yatra is also to begin today with the thousands of devotees embarking on the sacred pilgrimage to the Himalayan cave shrine. Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha flagged off the first batch of pilgrims from Jammu, marking the start of a 57-day spiritual journey amid extensive security arrangements and heightened enthusiasm among devotees. Here's more.
Chants of Bam Bam Bole echoed through Jammu as the first batch of pilgrims set off for the sacred Amarnath Yatra, one of India's most revered religious journeys. Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha flagged off the inaugural convoy from the Bhagwati Nagar Yatri Niwas, marking the formal commencement of the annual pilgrimage. The 57-day Yatra begins today and will continue till August 28th, coinciding with the festival of Raksha Bandhan.
This is a camp where the facilities have been provided for all these yatris, although the number is coming around 10,000, many of them who have reached through the private vehicles, the train journey, many of them have taken, and some of them have also come in using via these buses that were provided by the administration. But meanwhile, we are also seeing many of the yatris who have turned quite offended, saying that they are not being allowed to go inside the camp because of the registration issues that they are facing, although many of them are staying here on the very road despite the challenging weather. They are not even leaving the place, waiting that when they will be getting a green signal from the administration.
Authorities have made elaborate arrangements for the smooth conduct of the pilgrimage, including accommodations, medical facilities, transportation and disaster response mechanisms. Security remains a key focus with a multi-layered security grid deployed along both routes.
इसमें काफ़ी फोर्सेस लगी हैं, CAPF, आर्मी, पुलिस, JKP मेनली, और हमने इसमें प्रॉपर अरेंजमेंट किया था और प्रॉपर तरीके से अभी ऑलमोस्ट सारी कार्रवाई आ चुकी है और हमने प्रॉपर तरीके से ये लोग अपने कैंप में जा रहे हैं लोग और प्रॉपर लाइन वगैरह लग के पूरा इनका हुआ है और काफ़ी अच्छा अरेंजमेंट हो गया, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है.
Security agencies have also carried out extensive area domination exercises and route sanitization ahead of the pilgrimage.
Meanwhile, we are seeing the army in action. The drone systems have been chipped in. They are monitoring the entire tracks, the area where from the Yatra will proceed, and also the AI has been given a focus this time. There have been the multiple around 600 CCTV cameras that have been installed that will be monitoring these yatris. So this is the Amarnath Yatra of the 2026, where we see a jam-packed pilgrims number just outside the Srinagar's transit camp.
Getting some big breaking news coming in. Raja Raghuvanshi murder case. Supreme Court hears plea challenging bail to Sonam Raghuvanshi. Supreme Court refuses to cancel bail. Notice issued on the Meghalaya government's plea hearing scheduled next Thursday now. Huge updates coming in here, viewers, on Republic TV. And what we see is that notice issued on the Meghalaya government's... In fact, we're getting these updates coming in. Supreme Court refuses to cancel Sonam Raghuvanshi's bail. This is the big update coming in here. This is the honeymoon murder case, by the way. We're talking about the honeymoon murder case. And we had seen that the Meghalaya Government had approached Supreme Court challenging Sonam Raghuvanshi's bail. That was what was happening. State of Meghalaya had approached Supreme Court challenging the Meghalaya High Court's order upholding the bail granted to Sonam Raghuvanshi, the prime suspect in the chilling May 2025 honeymoon murder of her husband Raja Raghuvanshi. We saw that the Solicitor General of India, Tushar Mehta, mentioned the state's petition before a partial working days bench led by Justice M.M. Sundaresh. Viewers, anti-government protests in Pakistan occupied Kashmir have now entered their 24th day with fresh allegations against Pakistan's army. POK protesters accused the Pakistani military of arming Kashmiris in the past while branding peaceful protesters as terrorists today. As thousands continue their sit-in at Rawalkot, protesters have now warned Islamabad that if their demands remain ignored, the protests could turn into a larger movement. Take a look.
Anti-government protests in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir have now entered the 24th day. Thousands gathered in Rawalakot as fresh allegations were leveled against the Pakistan army.
कहते हैं दहशतगर्द है। देखिए क्या कहते हैं दहशतगर्द है। मैं इनसे कहता हूँ, आलमी मीडिया की मौजूदगी में कहता हूँ, मैं तमाम इंसानी हुकूक की तंजीमों को गवाह बना के कहता हूँ।
Protest leader Sardar Aman Khan claimed it was the Pakistan army that once put guns in the hands of Kashmiris, but now brands peaceful protesters as terrorists.
कश्मीरियों के हाथ में बंदूक पाकिस्तान की फौज ने दी थी। कश्मीरियों के हाथ में बंदूक भी पाकिस्तान की फौज ने दी। और पूरी पाकिस्तान की फौज ने और तुम हमें बताते हो हम दहशतगर्द। डिप्टी कमिश्नर रावलाकोट।
He also alleged that armed rallies with guns and swords were openly organized in Rawalakot with official backing in the name of fighting terrorism. Protesters insisted that the Awami Action Committee and those protesting are not terrorists, but the rightful heirs of the land.
तुम यहाँ पर रैलियां निकलवाते थे, बंदूकों वाली और तलवारों वाली, याद है आप सबको? याद है कि नहीं है? सबको याद है, तुम रैलियां निकलवाते थे, दहशतगर्दों के खिलाफ, तुम हमारे खिलाफ फतवे जारी करवाते थे। तुम हमें बताओगे कि दहशतगर्द एक्शन कमेटी और के सारे लोग दहशतगर्द हैं? ये सारे लोग दहशतगर्द नहीं है, ये इस धरती के वारिस हैं और तुम्हें अपनी यहाँ से छुट्टी नजर आ रही है। इस धरती से तुम्हें तुम्हारा बिल्कुल आखिरी सांसें नजर आ रही हैं।
The protesters demanded dialogue with Islamabad, urging Pakistan to resolve the issue through talks based on dignity and justice, otherwise warning of retaliation.
और हम इनसे कहना चाहते हैं कि इस कोई भी जंग हो, उस जंग का आखिरी हल क्या है? टेबल है। उस हल का हल क्या है? मुज़ाकरात है। बैठ के उसूलों की बुनियाद पे, बामी उसूलों की बुनियाद पे, इज्जत की बुनियाद पर, जो जिसका हक है उसकी बुनियाद पर कश्मीरियों से मुज़ाकरात के दरवाजों के साथ खोल के बैठो और बैठ के बात करो।
They warned that if their demands continue to be ignored, the agitation will grow even bigger.
अगर नहीं तो फिर हम इंशाअल्लाह ताला रावलाकोट के ईदगाह ग्राउंड में हम जम गए हैं अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह जम गए हैं और मज़ीद इंशाअल्लाह ताला जमेंगे। और जहां तक रही बात आगे बढ़ने की, जहां तक रही बात आगे जाने की, कोई नहीं रोक सकता, कोई नहीं रोक सकता हमें इंशाअल्लाह ताला, कोई नहीं रोक सकता।
The remarks came after the POK government reportedly declared the Awami Action Committee and nearly 150 protesters as terrorists.
लेकिन आगे बढ़ेंगे, अगर आगे बढ़ना पड़ा आगे बढ़ेंगे। 38 मुतालबा पे नहीं बढ़ेंगे, एक मुतालबे पे बढ़ेंगे, एक मुतालबे पे बढ़ेंगे। और मुतालबा क्या है? रियासत खाली करो, रियासत खाली करो, रियासत खाली करो।
The protesters ended with a direct message and one demand to Pakistan: vacate Pakistan-occupied Kashmir.
And taking a short break, viewers, do not go anywhere. A 2-year-old toddler and a 17-year-old killed in Maharashtra due to negligence by authorities. That's one of the top stories we're tracking here. Stay tuned, viewers, as Republic exposes civic apathy.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ और
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट, ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े। चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
AU सेविंग्स अकाउंट में मिलते हैं अमेजिंग बेनिफिट्स, पेपरलेस बैंकिंग एंड हायर इंटरेस्ट, वो भी हर महीने।
मनी 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 एवरी मंथ।
सोच बदलो और बैंक भी।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday I said that Bhagwant Man's problem is that in the process of covering up one lie, he is lying a second time. So to cover 2 lies, he lies a third time and a fourth time. And now he's in a big trap. He is doing everything possible to save his job. But it's going to become more and more difficult for him. Plus, I think he has some very foolish advisors. You see, this controversy is about a younger Bhagwant Mann. He's about 52 years now, 52 or 53. And the video apparently goes back to the time he was 39 years old. This is a video he's released. Let me first show you the other video, the controversial video. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a picture of Bhagwant Mann at the age of 39. And visibly, over the last 13 years, he's aged. There's nothing wrong with that. We all age. But there's a distinct difference in facial appearance. I'd like to show you a picture of Bhagwant Mann at present, which is about 52, 53 years old. And Bhagwant Mann on the other side at the age of 39, when he was a performer. Well, he is still a performer in a way. But there's a distinct physical difference. A, he's put on a lot of weight. His face is much more puffy. He's older. He's wearing a turban. He was not wearing a turban at that time. Not always, at least. Not always photographed with a turban. And so there's a distinct difference. So if you see the picture of the younger Bhagwant Mann, you'd actually have a blink and miss moment. Is this the same guy, you'd say? We all age. But some people, their appearance changes distinctly between 12 to 13 years. They're almost unrecognizable. And Bhagwant Mann is, fortunately or unfortunately, among those people. Now, what Bhagwant Mann is trying to say is, the guy you see in the pictures, in the sacrilege video, is not me. And he's banking on the fact that he looks different now. Now look at the picture on the left-hand side, the younger Bhagwant Mann. And look at the pictures on the right-hand side, which is the sacrilege video of 2014, 13 years back, of a younger Bhagwant Mann. And now they look much more similar, don't they? In fact, the more you go close up, you'll find it's probably the same guy. Now, Bhagwant Mann's argument can be privately to some people that if I did something sacrilegious 13 years back, why is it being picked up now? His detractors say it doesn't matter. You did something very bad. Now to cover himself up, I'll go to
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ स्वाद आया?
आया। असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरी राजा, सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
By the way, viewers, I'm driving in Delhi with Delhi wala boy Aman Gupta, who is too busy waving to his fans than talking to me. Please come down to earth, Aman.
Yes, I am sorry.
You're on my show.
I forgot.
This is not your show. This is my show. Stop waving to your fans. Be modest. Now everybody look. अरे आप politician हो. आप politician हो. आप ये क्या कर रहे हो? This is too much.
आपने बोला humble हो, मैं humble हो रहा हूँ।
You became very famous during Balika Badhu. At that time, there was.
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट,
स्वाद बढ़ाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और परेशान, अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk tonight about an incident where an FIR got registered against 4 people. This is an incident which has happened in Madhya Pradesh, in Ujjain, and there is this strange video which shows a van suspended about 40 feet in the air. And it's suspended with a crane, some kind of a huge big crane. And there are explosives which are put inside this van, and then the van is detonated. Watch this very carefully, ladies and gentlemen. This is apparently during a Muharram procession where the organizers fill a car with explosives, lift it 40 feet in the air with explosives, put a slogan on the vehicle saying, "Le fir aage," which means, "Look, we are back." And then they explode the van. And at that point of time, there are posters put, there's a lot of mayhem. It's also seen in the video that there are 2 people who are waving red flags before the blast, and the car is detonated mid-air amidst the spectators. There are videos from an Instagram account which also show a young man performing other explosion-related stunts, such as filling a drum with explosives and blasting it. And there are intense explosives used out there. This is all a celebration of explosions. These are not fireworks, let me tell you this, viewers. Now the police arrested the accused, and there was a procession of the accused also taken out. The accused identified as one Shoaib, Zahid Khan and Taslim. Shoaib organized the event, and Zahid and Taslim were the ones waving the flag while standing on the vehicle before the vehicle was...
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Welcome viewers, you're watching Live Report. This is Shivam Dutt Mehta, and the top focus story that we have for you is a story that concerns each and every one of us. The story is of the Mumbai, Maharashtra civic apathy, because there is not one incident, there is not 2 incidents, there are 3 incidents where 3 have lost their lives, including a 2-year-old toddler, all because of negligence of the authorities. We'll get you all the latest updates on all the 3 stories. But first up, let's have a look at the top headlines of the hour. Bengaluru police arrests 2 daycare caretakers as the toddler abuse probe widens following the viral video. A 2-year-old toddler and a 17-year-old killed in Maharashtra due to negligence by authorities. Carefully crafted Pakistan campaign has been exposed. Pakistan apologists timed letter backing talks to the Indus summit hosted by Islamabad. And reports suggest that Mujtaba Khamenei to skip his father's funeral after citing security concerns. All right, viewers, let's begin with the first top story. We are talking about 3 tragic deaths in Maharashtra, which are now raising serious questions about civic apathy and contractor negligence. Now, in Pune, 2-year-old Soham Lakhan Kasbe drowned after falling into a rainwater-filled pit just outside his home. Little child. Now, the pit was one of 4 dug for drainage and allegedly left open without safety measures. Now, Loni Kalbhor police have booked an unidentified contractor in in this case. Now, in Mumbai's Mumbai also, there's another incident that's important to highlight. A 17-year-old Alia Muhammad Sadiq Chandiwala died of electrocution. This is the little child who died, the 2-year-old who drowned in waterlogged pit. This is the 17-year-old girl who was electrocuted. She came in contact with a live current while walking through a waterlogged stretch near her building's iron gate. Now, her family says complaints about voltage fluctuation to torrent power were ignored. So the family had already complained, but nobody listened. Now police have booked power officials also for negligence. Now, and in Nagpur's Taj Bagh area also, there is another incident where a 65-year-old Afroza Begum died instantly from an electric shock while returning from a grocery store. Live current had spread through water accumulated on the road, allegedly due to the negligence by municipal corporation. So on one hand, there is a 2-year-old who drowned in a waterlogged pit. In the other one, a 17-year-old girl died because of electrocution. And also in the third case, there was a 65-year-old who died because of electrocution. In all the three cases, residents are demanding accountability, stricter safety enforcement, and also compensation for the victims' families. And this is the another case where 65-year-old dies of electrocution as she went out of her home. All right, we have Revati with us for all the latest details. Now, Revati, there's not one individual incident that happened in Maharashtra. There are three incidents and 2 of electrocution. Similar patterns. 2 women were killed. One was a 17-year-old girl and the other was a 65-year-old woman who died because of electrocution. Because every time there is rainfall in Maharashtra, such cases are common, but this needs to be highlighted and action needs to be taken. Not always can it be ignored, Revati.
As you rightly mentioned that it's just a different year, but the same situation in Maharashtra here, because this is not the third or not the 3 incidents, but this is actually 4th or 5th incident, because within a span of a week, these incidents are reported in Maharashtra. Number 1 is reported in Navi Mumbai, where 2 school-going girls were electrocuted in the same way, the way the 65-year-old woman was electrocuted later. Yesterday, we saw on Republic that a 55-year-old man fell into an open drainage line, and there was no barricading or no safety measures there as well. So these 2 incidents, along with these 3 incidents, are just incidents that happened within a span of 1 or 2 weeks and in different cities and different parts of Maharashtra. As I mentioned earlier, that it is just the different year and the same situation. The monsoon works are expected to be done by the end of May. But though the monsoons were delayed in Maharashtra, no real cognizance is taken. And in all the 3 cases, in Thane's case, if we look at the matter, that the complaints were made time and again, but no cognizance was taken by the electricity supply department officials. Yeah. Also, if we look at the Pune case, the 2-year-old boy lost his life just because there was no security or preventive measures taken there, and he fell into a pit which was open for sewage water and rainwater to flow. Okay. And there was no any.
But what reactions? What reactions are coming from the government in this case? What reactions are coming from the authorities in this case? Because the accountability needs to be set in all the 3 cases. It cannot be ignored. People dying, and there will be a case, an FIR being registered. But action should happen on ground, and all should be held accountable in all these incidents. So that's very important. What kind of reactions are you getting?
So in the Thane case, an FIR is registered against the officials of the electricity supply department, whereas in the Pune case, an unidentified contractor is slashed under relevant sections for the negligence and leading towards a death of a life. But in Nagpur case, where a 65-year-old woman was electrocuted, an accidental death report has been reported. But the citizens are appealing that an FIR shall be registered and the electricity supply department officials shall be held accountable for this. So as of now, these are the situation in the respective particular matter. But now again, who is accountable for this? Who is responsible for it? Because as of now, only FIRs and accidental death reports are being made. But as I mentioned earlier, different years, same story everywhere, because the pre-monsoon works are supposed to be done by the end of May or latest by first week of June, and they were not done. And that is why it is leading to, and it is claiming lives in different parts of Maharashtra. Over to you.
All right, thanks a lot for all the details in this story. Keep tracking of all other developments. We'll come back to you as more details emerge. All right, viewers, now let's move on to another top story. Now, in Bengaluru Daycare horror story, former child rights chief wrote to Chief Minister. He sought statewide safety audit in the alleged abuse of toddlers at a daycare center inside Capgemini's Bengaluru campus, which had triggered calls for stricter monitoring of childcare facilities across Karnataka. And former Karnataka State Commission for Protection of Child Rights chairperson Shashidhar Kosambe wrote to Chief Minister in this case, urging the government to take immediate steps to safeguard children's education, health and safety in daycare centers. Now, this is the story, and there were 5 accused in this case. There were 5 accused in this case and 2 have been arrested in this case. So there's a significant development. All right, we have a big breaking news development in this matter. Let's go across to the breaking news development. The National Commission for Protection of Child Rights has taken suo motu cognizance of alleged physical abuse and torture of children at the daycare center inside an IT company's Bengaluru campus. Now, in a letter dated July 2nd, 2026, addressed to Bengaluru Urban Deputy Commissioner P.S. Kantaraju, the NCPCR said that its team, led by senior technical expert Paresh Shah, will visit Bengaluru today for a fact-finding inquiry, and more details are awaited as the probe begins. So this is the NCPCR taking suo motu cognizance in the daycare horror center, the Bengaluru Daycare Horror Center. An action is happening as we speak because we first reported, and there has been an impact here. And there has been an impact. All right, Abhishek is live with us for all the latest details. Abhishek, action is happening as we speak. This is the NCPCR that has taken suo motu cognizance of the matter. There have been already 2 arrests in this matter. Because of the pressure, because of the media pressure, and especially because Republic broke the news first, and we continued to stay on the story and will still continue to stay on the story until there is more impact. What are the developments that are happening? Over to you, Abhishek.
Well, Shivam, there's a small update or a change in the data because it is one person, accused number 2, Vijayalakshmi, who's been arrested and who had been produced to the court, and she has been sent to the jail custody for the next 14 days starting from today. Among all the 5 accused in this particular case, 1 is absconding. 4 of them had been served with the notices. All the 3, 1 of them have been arrested, and the 3 of them have been were interviewed by the police. As of now, they have collected the primary information and evidences whatever were available with the police. They have cross-checked with these 3 accused persons and given time to come back to the
Abhishek,
station.
what exactly happened? What exactly happened? You said one is missing, 1 is not there. The other 4 out of them, 1 has been arrested.
Yes, out of the 5 people who have been booked under the Juvenile Justice Act in the particular case where Capgemini, 1 of them is absconding, 4 of them have been served with notices, and 1 person has been arrested, and 3 have already been questioned. And the 3 who are accused in this particular case have been given some time because nothing as such or not strong evidence were prevalent in the videos which were related to them. And also, upon checking the CCTV visuals which is located within the premises of the daycare, prima facie, it doesn't look like they had their direct involvement in this particular instance where the child was hurt mentally, emotionally, and physically. But at this point of time, we shouldn't forget the fact that I am located in front of the HAL Police Station, where we are expecting the NCPCR officials to drop down by 12:31 in the noon, because they have taken the so much cognizance of this entire
of the entire matter. Yeah, definitely.
Of this entire incident. And also we have been told that the officials...
Yeah, please continue,
These
Abhishek.
officials will also visit the HAL Police Station, after which they will be reaching out to the Capgemini premises to collect all the evidences which are related to the videos that are surfacing in various other levels and in various other depths. And also, the Home Minister of Karnataka, Priyank Kharge, has reacted, stating that Capgemini not only uses the location of Bengaluru, when it will also have to follow the rules, regulations, and the norms which has been set by the Karnataka state government. And taking care of the child safety is not only the government or the parents' job, but also the primary concern of the company, which is on a global standard. We will have to see what Capgemini has to say about this in the next couple of hours.
All right, Abhishek, stay with us. We have another big breaking news development. We'll need your comment on that too. This is the daycare abuse case, where now there is action that has happened. The big breaking news update on your screens, ladies and gentlemen, where in the daycare abuse case, the police have intensified their investigation into the child abuse case at a private daycare center. Now, the prime accused, Vijayalakshmi, has been arrested and produced before the court. The court has remanded the accused to 14 days of judicial custody. That's what we're getting. Big breaking news development, big impact. The police are also investigating the role of other staff members who were present at the daycare during the incident. Now, investigators are verifying who was on duty at the time and whether anyone else who was involved or failed to report the alleged abuse. Now, the investigation is continuing in this matter, and further action is likely based on the evidence which has been gathered. All right, Abhishek, so we're getting to know that the court has remanded the accused to 14 days of judicial custody in this matter. Over to you for more details on that.
Like I previously mentioned, out of the 5 women who are named in the first investigation report or the first information report, one person among the 5 is absconding as of now. The rest of the 4 accused in this case had been provided with the notices, and one person among these 4 have already been arrested and had been produced in front of the court today morning, even in the open court, and she has been taken to the judicial custody for the next 14 days starting from today. Other 3 women who were served with the notices, who are the accused in this particular case, had visited the police station, had been questioned by the women police staff, and also prima facie it looks like their involvement is not related to this particular case or any particular incident as of now. And also we've received an information that one of the former employee who was at the daycare had recorded all these videos, and there might have been a dispute among the daycare takers, and that is when these videos were deliberately sent out. On the other hand, when this kind of statement is made unofficially, we should also, the police is also verifying if there are various other videos which had been recorded in the last couple of months. And also the police have started investigation with the families of the children, whomsoever is working at the Capgemini or the Society General, because they wanted their families to check with their children if any of these incidents had happened in the last couple of days or probably in the months. On the other hand, it is Vijayalaxmi who has been arrested as of now, because in the particular video she is seen to have used derogatory words against children. She is seen to have threatened the children that she would put them into the she would put them into the washing machine, or she would make them sit in the western cupboard. So this is one of such incident where Vijayalaxmi is very clearly seen to have abused the children, and that is why she has been arrested as of now. And the collection of the evidence in various other sources and the collection of information from various other sources are happening as of now, and there might be more arrests which will be happening in the next couple of days. Shivam.
Okay, so you're saying there's a possibility that more arrests will be happening in this entire matter, because definitely if others are also working in the daycare center, they might be aware of the situation on ground. But what about other daycare centers, Abhishek? Because has there been a state-wise audit that has been ordered because of the pressure that was already being put on such daycare centers, and because of this incident coming to light, this incident becoming highlighted, has there been a statewide audit ordered by the government in this case, Abhishek?
Well, when we questioned about the same to the Karnataka Home Minister Priyank Kharge in the morning, he very clearly mentioned the fact that the daycare centers will have to follow standard operating procedure, which had been previously set down by the union government as well as the state government, and also all the daycares which are operating in India will have to go through some of the guidelines, and they will be localized when it comes to any of the state government. If any of these rules and regulations are not formulated, if they aren't followed by any of the daycare, there will be a severe action against the daycare, is what he has mentioned. On the other hand, he has also mentioned that he is waiting for a report from the Bengaluru City Police with respect to this very particular incident. And after this information will be shared with the Women and Child Rights Commission to make sure that the rules and regulations followed by the daycare centers will have to be re-implemented strictly, is what the Home Minister has mentioned as of now. So, majority of the daycare centers who are operating, who might be operating without the without legal license, might be closed down anytime soon, or some of them have already closed down as soon as they got to know that one such incident has happened in Silicon City, Bengaluru, and we are also expecting that the government might order a team officials to make sure that the daycares are following the rules and regulations. If not, generate a report against them and put them behind bars.
Okay.
Shivam.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Abhishek, for all the latest details. Keep tracking of all the developments. We'll come back to you as more details emerge. All right, viewers, now let's move on to another top story. This is about a shocking case which emerged from Venezuela, where an Indian seafarer whose name is Rakesh Chauhan was reported dead in Venezuela, and his mortal remains were sent back to his hometown in Uttar Pradesh without any autopsy report. But that's not it, or details from Venezuelan authorities. The family demanded an re-autopsy in India. Now, the official post-mortem conducted here revealed a very horrifying truth. Not a single organ, I repeat, not a single organ was found in the body. The report notes the brain, the heart, both the lungs, the liver, kidneys, spleen, pancreas, stomach, intestines, thyroid, hyoid, larynx, and trachea were all missing. The body showed extensive prior stitching, 22 stitches, ladies and gentlemen, from neck to the pubic symphysis, and 21 stitches. The stitches were continuing year to year. No ante-mortem injuries were found. The body was kept in deep freeze for nearly a month, and the cause of death is yet to be ascertained, and it could not be determined due to absence of organs. The Indian Embassy came into action. The Indian Embassy in Caracas has sought a thorough investigation by Venezuelan authorities into the desecration and removal of the organs. So the family demanded that there should be action, and they're demanding action with the image of the person who died, and not a single organ was found in his body. And there were no ante-mortem injuries noted. So that's the big question is, were the organs stolen? What exactly happened? The family demands justice for the deceased, because no organ was left inside his body. And body was kept in deep freeze for a month, ladies and gentlemen. And then later, when it was sent back to his hometown, there was not a single organ. And the question is, were the organs stolen? Body being kept in the deep freeze for a month after organs being removed, and the family demands autopsy. And what's missing? This exactly highlights what's missing. The brain is missing, the thyroid is missing, the hyoid is missing, the larynx is missing, the larynx and trachea, both are missing. The question is, were the organs stolen? And there has been no explanation by the Venezuelan authorities. Both the lungs were also missing, the heart was also missing, the stomach was missing, intestines were missing, and other parts also, including spleen, pancreas, kidneys, both the kidneys were missing. So there's something fishy in this entire matter. Something really fishy. The post-mortem highlights missing organs. That's the big highlight here, and that's why the family is asking for a re-autopsy, another post-mortem from the Venezuelan authorities, and also the Indian Embassy has come into action, swung into action, and they have asked for authorities to work on it and action to happen. The post-mortem highlights missing organs in this matter. This is the sailor's organ that were missing in the body. All right, let's listen into the reaction of the family members. Let's listen into the reaction of the wife of the seafarer who found dead there.
मेरे पति जहाज पे गए थे, वहाँ पे उनकी हत्या करके और उनकी जो बॉडी की ऑर्गन्स थे वो निकाल ली गई है, और हम लोगों से उन लोगों ने आज तक कुछ भी सही से रिपोर्ट नहीं दिया, ना ही हम लोग जितने बार रिपोर्ट मांगे, कुछ भी मांगे, उनका यहाँ तक का जो निजी सामान था वो भी कुछ नहीं उन लोगों ने दिया। हम लोग मांगते रह गए, वो लोग बात भी सही से नहीं करते, अकड़ के ही बात करते हैं कंपनी वाले। और उनकी बॉडी का हर एक पार्ट निकाल लिए। हम लोग यहाँ पे पीएम करवाए, हम लोग को पहले तो पता नहीं था, हम लोग ये हुआ कि चलो बॉडी आ रही है। उसके बाद जब हम लोग यहाँ दोबारा पीएम करवाए तो यहाँ पीएम में रिपोर्ट आया कि उस बॉडी की एक भी ऑर्गन्स नहीं है। हम लोग सरकार से यही मांग चाहते हैं कि जो ये किए हैं वो कड़ी से कड़ी उनको सजा हो, उनको अच्छी सी जांच, सही से उनकी जांच बैठाई जाए। सर, हम ये चाहते हैं कि हमारी जो उचित मुआवजा है वो हमें सरकार दिलाए, वो हमें मिले और हमें एक नौकरी सरकारी जो कि मिलनी चाहिए, क्योंकि मेरे बच्चे का भविष्य एकदम अंधकार में है। मेरा 6 मंथ का बच्चा है, जो कि नौकरी की वजह से मैं नौकरी मुझे मिले कि मैं बच्चे को अपने अच्छे से पाल सकूं।
So the family demands a re-autopsy, the family demands justice, and they want information for what exactly happened. Chandrakala is joining us from New Delhi for all the latest updates in this matter. Chandrakala, now the Indian embassy has swung into action and they want Venezuelan authorities to come up with some answers and action to happen, because how can this be that you can send a body and you can claim that the autopsy has been done and there is not a single organ present inside the body? The family definitely demands justice in this case. Over to you, Chandrakala, for all the latest updates.
Yes, absolutely. A very, very shocking revelation has come to the fore, wherein an Indian seafarer who is working in Venezuelan water, his body has been sent back to his home after he was dead and without a single organ. Well, this is not only a concern for India, but also the Venezuelan authority is answerable as to what steps are being taken to ensure the safety and security of the Indian sailors who are actually working in and passing by Venezuelan water. Now, we have seen the recent development wherein the Indian embassy in Caracas has, sought a detailed investigation, has taken up this matter with the Venezuelan authorities to investigate into this matter. And of course, the matter has been taken up by the Ministry of External Affairs as well as but what we are learning is that the Venezuelan authority is not, there is no word from the Venezuelan authorities yet. But yes, we have already reached out to the Venezuelan authority as to what steps are being taken to ensure the safety and security, and also what steps are being taken to to help the family members reach out, and if the Venezuelan authorities is ready to to take up this matter, to work together with the Indian authorities to help this, to resolve these issues, and carry out a forensic examination further, or in collaboration with India to resolve this issue. Well, this is a matter of concern for both the countries, and we are awaiting a response from the Venezuelan authorities right at this moment. A very, very shocking revelation, and this has come to the fore after this family has claimed that he died under very suspicious circumstances while
and they definitely need answers to what exactly happened. Chandrakala, thanks a lot for all the latest updates in this story. All right, viewers, so that was all that we could pack in this edition of A Live Report, but we have an action-packed bulletin lined up for you after the break. But don't go anywhere, we'll bring you more big stories coming up.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा,
Amity has been ranked among the top universities globally for producing the most employable graduates by the Times Higher Education UK. Yet another testimony to Amity's excellent placement record.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ, स्वाद आया? आया।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
AU सेविंग्स अकाउंट में मिलते हैं अमेजिंग बेनिफिट्स, पेपरलेस बैंकिंग एंड हायर इंटरेस्ट, वो भी हर महीने।
मनी 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 एवरी मंथ। सोच बदलो और बैंक भी।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरी डे।
By the way, viewers, I'm driving in Delhi with Delhi wala boy Aman Gupta, who is too busy waving to his fans than talking to me. Please come down to earth, Aman.
Yes, I am sorry.
You're on my show.
I forgot.
This is not your show. This is my show. Stop waving to your fans. Be modest. Now everybody look. अरे आप politician हो. आप politician हो. आप ये क्या कर रहे हो? This is too much.
आपने बोला humble हो, मैं humble हो रहा हूँ.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ और
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट, ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े।
चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ,
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk tonight about an incident where an FIR got registered against 4 people. This is an incident which has happened in Madhya Pradesh, in Ujjain, and there is this strange video which shows a van suspended about 40 feet in the air. And it's suspended with a crane, some kind of a huge big crane. And there are explosives which are put inside this van, and then the van is detonated. Watch this very carefully, ladies and gentlemen. This is apparently during a Muharram procession, where the organizers fill a car with explosives, lift it 40 feet in the air with explosives, put a slogan on the vehicle saying, Le fir aage, which means, look, we are back. And then they explode the van. And at that point of time, there are posters put, there's a lot of mayhem. It's also seen in the video that there are 2 people who are waving red flags before the blast. And the car is detonated mid-air amidst the spectators. There are videos from an Instagram account which also...
India's defense story is entering a transformative new era, powered by indigenous innovation, cutting-edge emerging technology, and a rapidly expanding defense industrial ecosystem. As the nation accelerates its journey towards strategic self-reliance and the vision of Viksit Bharat 2047, Republic brings together the policymakers, defense leaders, innovators, and industry pioneers shaping the future of national security. Join us on 18th July in New Delhi for Republic Defense Forces' first conclave, Bharat, the defense powerhouse, where the spotlight will be on next-generation military technologies, advanced defense platforms, indigenous capabilities, and the government and industry partnerships driving India's technological transformation. Stay tuned for insightful conversations, exclusive perspectives, and the ideas that will define the future of India's defense ecosystem. Now let's have a look at the top headlines. Back-to-back cases of civic apathy comes to light. 2 electrocuted after rain and 1 drowns after falling into open pit. Two daycare caretakers arrested for allegedly physically abusing toddlers at a daycare in Bengaluru. Prime accused sent to 14-day custody. DMK versus TVK intensifies in Tamil Nadu. DMK likely to move Supreme Court over TVK minister's comment on Karur stampede. Carefully crafted Pakistan campaign exposed. Pakistan apologists timed letter backing talks to the Indus summit hosted by Islamabad. Now, 3 tragic deaths in Maharashtra are now raising serious questions about civic apathy and contractor negligence. In Pune, 2-year-old Soham Lakhan Kasbe drowned after falling into a rainwater-filled pit outside his home. The pit was one of 4 dug for drainage and allegedly left open without safety measures. Now, Loni Kalbahar police have booked an unidentified contractor. In Mumbai's Mumra, 17-year-old Alia Mohammad Sajid Chandiwala died of electrocution. And she came into contact with a live current wire while walking through a waterlogged stretch near her building's iron gate. Her family says complaints about voltage fluctuation to torrent power were ignored. And police have booked power officials for negligence. And in Nagpur's Taj Bagh area, 65-year-old Afroza Begum died instantly from an electric shock while returning from a grocery store. Live current had spread through water accumulated on the road, allegedly due to negligence by the municipal corporation in this case. The negligence by the municipal corporation, contractors and the electricity officials. Now, in all 3 cases, residents are demanding accountability, stricter safety enforcement and compensation for the victims' families. Now, there are the 3 cases on your screen, ladies and gentlemen, where a 65-year-old dies because of electrocution, and this is in Nagpur, and 2 other cases where one in Thane, 17-year-old girl got electrocuted and she died because of electrocution because there was live current in the water. So there's not just flooding which is happening, it's not just waterlogging which is happening, and it's also the electrocution cases. There's current in the water and anybody can die because of that. All right, viewers, now let's move on to another big breaking news development. This is about the Sia and Chetan story and in the death of Ketan. Now, Republic confronts Sia and Chetan in this entire case. And we'll have the visuals also for you where we confronted Sia and Chetan. So, yesterday, Sia was making obscene gestures towards the media, and now we confronted Sia and Chetan. And let's go to that interaction. Let's go to the confrontation.
Sia अफसोस है आपको, Sia अफसोस है, Sia अफसोस है आपको, Sia अफसोस है, जिस तरह से Sia अफसोस है, Sia बस नहीं अंदर नहीं बस रुको हाँ Sia अफसोस है, Sia अफसोस है आपको, Sia अफसोस है, जिस तरह से Sia अफसोस है, Sia बस नहीं अंदर नहीं बस रुको हाँ Sia अफसोस है, Sia अफसोस है आपको, Sia अफसोस है, जिस तरह से Sia अफसोस है, Sia बस नहीं अंदर नहीं बस रुको हाँ.
All right, so this is the situation where yesterday, the way she was behaving, and today you can see as we confronted Sia and Chetan, and there was no answer. They had no answer. We asked a very simple question: do you regret what you did? And they ran away. They ran away from the media, the same media that yesterday they were abusing. Yesterday, Sia was the one who was abusing the media by making an obscene gesture towards the media, pointing towards the media. And now, when Republic confronted Sia and Chetan, we asked a very simple question. Our senior correspondent asked a very simple question: do you regret what you did? Do you regret killing Ketan? And there was no response. There was no response. She ran inside. She ran inside because she had no answers. And this is Republic confronting Sia and Chetan, who both had no answers. Sia had no answer. Yesterday she was in a way she was abusing the media, and today she has no answers. She has no answers to the question that were posed by Republic, because Republic confronted Sia, and Sia evades the questions that were asked by Republic on the Pune murder case, on the Ketan Agarwal murder case. No response from Sia, no response from Chetan. This is Republic confronting Sia and Chetan in this matter. Exclusive on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, this is Republic confronting Sia in this case, and she did not respond, and she had no answers. As Sia was being brought into the lockup, she was asked, do you have any regrets? Why did you kill Ketan? Sia can clearly be seen running away while looking at the camera. The question was asked. All right, Satya Prakash is live with us for all the latest details. Satya Prakash, बहुत सीधा सवाल पूछा गया था कि आपको रिग्रेट है कि आपने क्या किया है, आपने मारा है केतन को, किस तरीके का रवैया, और कल तो जरा जिस तरीके से उंगली दिखाई जा रही थी वो तमाम चीजें की जा रही थी, और आज की दृष्टिकोण को देखते हुए, आज की हरकतों को देखते हुए जरा बताइए क्या कुछ हो रहा है।
देखिए, थोड़ी देर पहले ही सिया को इसी लॉकअप रूम में लाया गया। उस समय हमने सवाल पूछा कि क्या अफसोस है जिस तरह से केतन अग्रवाल को धक्का दिया है, क्या इसको लेकर अफसोस है जिस तरह से उन्होंने धक्का दिया था। सवाल पूछा लेकिन सिया भागती हुई नजर आई, कोई जवाब नहीं दिया। लेकिन जिस तरह से कल जब सिया के घर पे लेके पुलिस गई थी, वहां पर बयान दर्ज किया था और पूछताछ किया था, उस समय जिस तरह से वो निकली और बाहर आई और जिस तरह से उंगली दिखाया, अश्लील इशारा किया, कहीं के उसी को लेकर हमने आज पूछा कि जो केतन अग्रवाल को धक्का दिया उसको लेकर अफसोस है, लेकिन सिया ने कोई जवाब नहीं दिया। पुलिस लगातार इस मामले को लेकर जांच कर रही, कई लोग का बयान दर्ज किया है और चेतन चौधरी के दोस्त का बयान दर्ज किया है। चेतन चौधरी का दोस्त जो है, चेतन चौधरी ने बताया था अपने दोस्त को कि अगर ऐसा करते हैं, केतन अग्रवाल को अगर हम धक्का देते हैं या उसके साथ कुछ करते हैं, क्या हो सकता है। इन सारी चीज़ों को जानकारी दिया था अपने दोस्त को और दोस्त का बयान पुलिस ने दर्ज किया। थोड़ी देर पहले ही इसी जो है लॉकअप रूम में लाया गया है सिया और चेतन को, और थोड़ी देर बाद यहाँ से निकाला जाएगा और आज जो है कोर्ट में पेश करेगी पुलिस जो है, सोर्स से जो जानकारी मिल रहे हैं कि पुलिस रिमांड मांगेगी चेतन और सिया का, क्योंकि जिस तरह से लगातार जो जांच चल रहा है, कई ऐसी कड़ियां हैं, अभी भी पुलिस को जांच करना बाकी है। चेतन चौधरी के पिता का बयान दर्ज करना है, इसके साथ ही कई लोग का बयान दर्ज करना है और बहुत सारी चीजें जांच बची है। तो इसलिए पुलिस कहना है कि हम पुलिस रिमांड मांगेंगे, क्योंकि कई चीजें हैं जिसको लेकर जांच करना है। जी
बिल्कुल, और जांच में सहयोग क्या किया जा रहा है या बिल्कुल सहयोग नहीं किया जा रहा है, क्योंकि जिस तरीके से इनके जवाब पहले आ रहे थे, एक दूसरे पर आरोप लगाता है, दूसरा उस पर आरोप लगाता है, और पूरी प्लानिंग के साथ ही एक तरीके से शातिर अपराधियों की तरह इन्होंने पूरी वारदात को अंजाम दिया था। ले जाके पहले भी धक्का मारा गया था, लेकिन जब पता लगा कि अकेले धक्का मारने से काम नहीं बनेगा तो चेतन को लाया गया। ये पूरे घटनाक्रम को थोड़ा समझाते हुए, और आज की जो जिस तरीके से आपने सवाल पूछा तो जवाब नहीं आया वहां तक।
देखिए, जिस तरह से पुलिस जांच कर रही है लगातार, क्योंकि एक बार नहीं, हर दिन लगभग सिया और चेतन से पूछताछ कर रही है पुलिस, क्योंकि जिस तरह से पुलिस उलझी हुई है, क्योंकि चेतन जो कह रहा है कि सिया ने धक्का दिया और सिया कह रही है चेतन ने धक्का दिया। कहीं पुलिस जो ऐसी उलझी हुई है, इसीलिए लगातार जो है पुलिस पूछताछ कर रही है, कई घंटों तक पूछताछ कर रही हर दिन, लगभग पुलिस स्टेशन बैठा के लॉकअप रूम में, और यहाँ तक कि एसपी ऑफिस में भी ले जाकर पूछताछ किया जा रहा है। क्योंकि जिस तरह से ये लोग बयान बदल रहे हैं, जिस तरह से क्राइम रिग्रेशन किया गया, क्योंकि पहले जो है सिया को ले जाकर वहाँ पे घटनास्थल पर वहाँ पे क्राइम रिग्रेशन कराया गया था, इसके बाद जो है चेतन को ले जाकर कराया गया, दोनों का जो है क्राइम रिग्रेशन को मिलान किया गया है और लगातार पूछताछ किया जा रहा है। क्योंकि जिस तरह से बयान बदल रहे हैं, शुरुआती जब पूछताछ हुआ था उस समय दोनों ने कबूल किया था कि हमने दोनों मिलकर जो है केतन अग्रवाल को धक्का दिए हैं लोहगढ़ किले से, लेकिन अब कहीं के दोनों का बयान मिसमैच हो रहा है, जिसको लेकर लगातार कहीं पुलिस उलझी हुई है और इसीलिए लगातार लोगों का बयान दर्ज कर रही है, स्टेटमेंट दर्ज कर रही है। और सबसे बड़ा चीज ये सामने आया है कि जिस तरह से चेतन के दोस्त ने बताया है कि केतन अग्रवाल को धक्का मारने और मारने का प्लानिंग का हिस्सा बताया था, और उसी का बयान पुलिस ने दर्ज किया। फिलहाल पुलिस आज जो है कोर्ट में पेश करेगी और दोनों को, चेतन और सिया का रिमांड मांगेगी और कई चीजें जो अभी जांच में बाकी है उसको कहीं आने वाले दिनों में करेगी। जी
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया पूरी जानकारी हमारे साथ साझा करने के लिए, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। नजर बनाए रखिए और क्या कुछ घटनाएं सामने आती हैं, क्या अपडेट्स आते हैं। थैंक्स अ लॉट। Also, all right, so let's move on to another top story. This is about the Bengaluru Daycare horror, where former child rights chief wrote to Chief Minister and sought a statewide safety audit, and the alleged abuse of toddlers at a daycare center inside Capgemini's Bengaluru campus triggered calls for stricter monitoring. Now, NCPCR takes suo motu cognizance in the daycare horror. The NCPCR, and there will be a team that will visit the scene, the location where the children were abused, where the little children, the toddlers, merely 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds were abused, physically abused, beaten, and the way misbehaved. You can see the visuals. This horrific, shocking visuals. How can a person be so cruel that they can do such heinous things to little children, to kids, to 2-year-olds, to 3-year-olds? The way they were locked inside the bathroom, the way they were physically abused, and the facility temporarily shut as a precaution. And the police is on that matter. Investigations are on. One has been arrested. And the police is investigating. One is absconding also in this case where the children were abused, physically abused, and action is happening right now as we speak. And this is 5 booked under Juvenile Justice Act. All right, Abhishek is live with us with all the latest details in this story. Abhishek, coming to you, the NCPCR, that is the National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, has taken suo motu cognizance of the alleged physical abuse and torture. What action are we looking at?
Well, the NCPCR is about to reach Bengaluru. They might have already reached Bengaluru because they are going to first have a word with the State Child Rights Commission, after which they will be heading towards the HAL Police Station to collect the prima facie details and the data which has been investigated by the HAL Police Station after the FIR was registered against the Capgemini Daycare service, the issue that happened at the daycare service, and after which they will be reaching out to the Capgemini campus to interrogate, to collect the actual facts and to collect the actual data, to collect the CCTV evidences, and also to question the measure of the leadership level in the daycare sector in the Capgemini campus. On the other hand, we've also been informed that these officials who are coming to Bengaluru from Delhi will do the fact-finding, collect a report, they will generate a report and then submit it to the union level office, and after which they will make sure that they will direct the state government as to what has to be done in this particular issue. On the other hand, Shashidhar Kosumbe has already written a letter to the Karnataka Chief Minister seeking his intervention and non-negligent action in this particular issue. The third point will be the HAL Police, who had given the notice to 4 of the accused among the 5, has already arrested accused number 2, Vijayalakshmi, because the videos which are already surfaced over in various other modes of the channels, it is found that Vijayalaxmi is video. It is found that Vijayalaxmi threatened the children to put them within the washing machine, to put them within the western commode, and also it is believed that she had verbally and emotionally abused the children who were taking the facility in the daycare at the Capgemini campus. And 3 women who had already been served with the notice have already been interrogated by the HAL Police as of now, and they haven't found any substantial evidence against these 3 women. And the fact is that Sujata, who was the former employee in the daycare service, had lodged a complaint after she quit the work at this Capgemini campus because she had an internal fight with the daycare team, is what the police sources mentioned off the record as of now. But we are awaiting the response from the Capgemini as of now, because they've only given out a statement or a press note stating that the daycare services at their campus has been shut down due to the prevailing situation. On the other hand, the Commissioner of Bengaluru City Police, Seemans Kumar Singh, had mentioned the fact that the team has been formulated under the supervision of a lady Deputy Commissioner of Police, and this team is actually continuing with the investigation into the grassroots level. On the other hand, we are also expecting this particular case will have to see, or might see some more arrests in this particular case, because the police have started collecting the evidence after interrogating the parents also who had left their children at the daycare center. If at all any physical abuse or mental abuse or emotional abuse were found by the parents, some more arrests might have happened in the next couple of days. We are also expecting that the NCPCR will collect the data, the CCTV and the recordings of the entire floor, and after which they might launch another investigation from their side. Shivam.
All right, yeah, definitely. Investigation needs to be done in this matter. But are we looking at more arrests also in this case? Are we looking at more arrests apart from the 5, 1 absconding? Will there be more arrests in the near future? And also about the state-wise audit that we are looking at, and also the demands of the NCPCR and the former chief.
Well, with respect to one person who's already absconded, there are several other doubts which have arisen already because all the three women who had been served notices have been interrogated by the police, and the one who's absconding now is believed to have been a part of this incident. She might have also been a person who's threatened the children, who's abused the children, and this is one of the reasons as to why she might have absconded. And with respect to the daycare center's audit, which is supposed to happen in the state of Karnataka, Home Minister Priyank Kharge has clearly mentioned a fact that he is awaiting the report of this particular daycare center from the Bengaluru City Police in a day or two, and after which there will be audit from the state government. He will be writing a letter to the Women and Child Commission to make sure that the rules or the SOPs which the daycares across the state will have to follow will be implied immediately, and the daycare centers will, no matter what, follow the rules and regulations which have been laid down by the state government as well as the union government. And also Priyank Kharge for a fact mentions that it is not only the responsibility of the parents or the government or the agencies to look after the safety of the child, but it is also the utmost importance of the Capgemini or any other private company which offers a daycare solution, because
definitely
these companies
yes, Abhishek, keep tracking all the developments. Keep tracking all the developments. We'll come back to you later as more details emerge, but thanks a lot for all the details in this entire matter. Thanks a lot. All right, viewers, now let's move on to another top big breaking news development that we're getting right now. This is the new revelations likely in the Ram Mandir donation scam case, and police takes Avinash Shukla into remand, and it is reported that he has so far confessed to the using the stolen offering money to purchase a motorcycle. Expectations of new revelations have risen regarding the theft of offerings from Ayodhya's Ram Mandir. The police have taken Avinash Shukla, one of the accused, arrested in this matter in the case, into remand on Friday morning, and a police team arrived at the jail to collect Avinash and took him to the district hospital for a medical examination. Subsequently, he was brought to the remand room at the police lines where interrogation began. This is the big update. Accused allegedly used donation money to purchase bike. This is another set of revelation that we are getting in this Ram Mandir donation embezzlement case, in the donation scam case. New revelations emerge in Ram Mandir donation case. One after the other. One of the accused, Avinash Shukla, allegedly used donation money to purchase a motorcycle. This is the exclusive information that we are getting in this story. A big revelation in this matter on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. New revelations emerge in the Ram Mandir donation scam story. Big update on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. The accused allegedly used donation money to purchase a motorcycle. So that's what we are getting in this story. The Uniform Civil Code debate is set to intensify in West Bengal. The state cabinet will take up the draft UCC bill at a high-level meeting in Nabanna today. Now, an expert committee headed by former Supreme Court Judge Justice Ranjana Prakash Desai has been tasked with examining the draft before it is placed in the Assembly. Here's the report.
The West Bengal government has initiated the next step towards framing its Uniform Civil Code, with the draft bill set to be discussed at a cabinet meeting in Nabanna. The meeting, scheduled for 2 p.m, will be attended by ministers and secretaries from all government departments to deliberate on the proposed legislation. The state cabinet has already approved the formation of an expert committee to examine the draft Uniform Civil Code bill. The panel will be headed by retired Supreme Court Judge Justice Ranjana Prakash Desai, who has been given 4 weeks to study the draft and submit recommendations. According to the state government, once the committee submits its report, the draft UCC bill will be placed before the West Bengal Legislative Assembly for further consideration. The move comes as the Uniform Civil Code continues to remain a key political and legal issue, with several states examining similar legislation. The expert panel's recommendations are expected to shape the final draft before it is formally introduced in the Assembly.
Well, it was time to slip into a short commercial break, but don't go anywhere because we have a lot more lined up for you. Coming up, back-to-back cases of civic apathy comes to light, and 3 killed because of civic negligence. 2 electrocuted after rain and 1 drowns after falling into open pit.
Amity has been ranked among the top universities globally for producing the most employable graduates by the Times Higher Education UK. Yet another testimony to Amity's excellent placement record.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ और
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े।
चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk tonight about an incident where an FIR got registered against 4 people. This is an incident which has happened in Madhya Pradesh, in Ujjain, and there is this strange video which shows a van suspended about 40 feet in the air. And it's suspended with a crane, some kind of a huge big crane. And there are explosives which are put inside this van, and then the van is detonated. Watch this very carefully, ladies and gentlemen. This is apparently during a Muharram procession, where the organizers fill a car with explosives, lift it 40 feet in the air with explosives, put a slogan on the vehicle saying, "Le fir aage," which means, "Look, we are back." And then they explode the van. And at that point of time, there are posters put, there's a lot of mayhem. It's also seen in the video that there are 2 people who are waving red flags before the blast, and the car is detonated mid-air amidst the spectators. There are videos from an Instagram account which also show a young man performing other explosion-related stunts, such as filling a drum with explosives and blasting it. And there are intense explosives used out there. This is all a celebration of explosions. These are not fireworks, let me tell you this, viewers. Now, the police arrested the accused, and there was a procession of the accused also taken out. The accused identified as one.
All right, viewers, welcome back. You're watching Republic TV. This is Shivam Dutt Mehta. Now, the annual Sri Amarnath Yatra is set to begin today with thousands of devotees embarking on the sacred pilgrimage to the Himalayan cave shrine in Jammu and Kashmir. Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha flagged off the first batch of pilgrims from Jammu, marking the start of a 57-day spiritual journey amid extensive security arrangements and heightened enthusiasm among devotees. Here's the report.
Chants of Bam Bam Bole echoed through Jammu as the first batch of pilgrims set off for the sacred Amarnath Yatra, one of India's most revered religious journeys. Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha flagged off the inaugural convoy from the Bhagwati Nagar Yatri Niwas, marking the formal commencement of the annual pilgrimage. The 57-day Yatra begins today and will continue till August 28th, coinciding with the festival of Raksha Bandhan.
This is a camp where the facilities have been provided for all these yatris, although the number is coming around 10,000, those many of them who have reached through the private vehicles, the train journey, many of them have taken, and some of them have also come in using via these buses that were provided by the administration. But meanwhile, we are also seeing many of the yatris who have turned quite offended, saying that they are not being allowed to go inside the camp because of the registration issues that they are facing, although many of them are staying here on the very road. Despite the challenging weather, they are not even leaving the place, waiting that when they will be getting a green signal from the administration.
All right, it's time to slip into a short commercial break, but don't go anywhere. Coming up next, DMK versus TVK intensifies in Tamil Nadu. DMK likely to move Supreme Court over TVK minister's comment on Karur stampede.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट अब बताओ स्वाद आया
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट.
Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday I said that Bhagwant Man's problem is that in the process of covering up one lie, he is lying a second time. So to cover two lies, he lies a third time and a fourth time. And now he's in a big trap. He is doing everything possible to save his job. But it's going to become more and more difficult for him. Plus, I think he has some very foolish advisors. You see, this controversy is about a younger Bhagwant Man. He's about 52 years now, 52 or 53. And the video apparently goes back to the time he was 39 years old. This is a video he's released. Let me first show you the other video, the controversial video. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a picture of Bhagwant Man at the age of 39. And visibly, over the last 13 years, he's aged. There's nothing wrong with that. We all age. But there's a distinct difference in facial appearance. I'd like to show you a picture of Bhagwant Man at present, which is about 52, 53 years old. And Bhagwant Man on the other side at the age of 39, when he was a performer. Well, he is still a performer in a way. But there's a distinct physical difference. A, he's put on a lot of weight. His face is much more puffy. He's older. He's wearing a turban. He was not wearing a turban at that time. Not always, at least. Not always photographed with a turban. And so there's a distinct difference. So if you see the picture of the younger Bhagwant Man, you'd actually have a blink and miss moment. Is this the same guy, you'd say? We all age. But some people, their appearance changes distinctly between 12 to 13 years. They're almost unrecognizable. And Bhagwant Man is, fortunately or unfortunately, among those people. Now, what Bhagwant Man is trying to say is, the guy you see in the pictures, in the sacrilege video, is not me. And he's banking on the fact that he looks different now. Now look at the picture on the left-hand side, the younger Bhagwant Man. And look at the pictures on the right-hand side, which is the sacrilege video of 2014.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
A very warm welcome, viewers. You're watching Republic TV. This is Shivam Dutt Mehta. Republic School of Journalism, India's most sought-after live learning program, has now opened applications for its 2026 batch. RSJ was launched with a single mission: to train the next generation of journalists, not in classrooms, but on the field, live, as news breaks, covering elections, wars, and the biggest stories of our times, under the direct mentorship of India's best journalists at the Republic Media Network. And the results speak for themselves. 100% of students from RSJ's inaugural batch are now placed working in newsrooms. The new batch begins this August, and aspiring journalists can apply online now at www.republicschoolofjournalism.com or call 836-999-5400 to know more. Now let's shift our focus and get you all the top headlines of the hour. Back-to-back cases of civic apathy comes to light. 2 electrocuted after rain and 1 drowns after falling into open pit. Two daycare caretakers arrested for allegedly physically abusing toddlers at a daycare in Bengaluru. Prime accused sent to 14-day custody. DMK versus TVK intensifies in Tamil Nadu. DMK likely to move Supreme Court over TVK minister's comment on Karur stampede. Carefully crafted Pakistan campaign exposed Pakistan apologists' timed letter backing talks to the Indus summit hosted by Islamabad. All right, viewers, let's begin with the first top story. This is a big breaking news development that we're getting. This is about the DMK MLA Anita R. Radhakrishnan arrested. Former DMK minister and current MLA from Tiruchendur, Anita R. Radhakrishnan has been arrested. Anita R. Radhakrishnan has been arrested over a case filed against him for making demeaning comments against CM Vijay. And earlier today, he had applied for an anticipatory bail, and the Madras High Court had declined his bail, stating any comment MLA makes should be responsible for. So you can't just make a statement and let it be. There will be repercussions, there will be action, and similarly in this case also there is action. Arrest after his anticipatory bail plea was rejected by the High Court in this case. DMK MLA Anita R. Radhakrishnan has been arrested. Big breaking news development, ladies and gentlemen, on your screen. As you can see, top breaking news from the development in Tamil Nadu. Big breaking news development where DMK MLA Anita R. Radhakrishnan has been arrested. The former DMK minister and current MLA from Tiruchendur, Anita R. Radhakrishnan, has been arrested over a case filed against him for making demeaning comments against CM Vijay. Earlier today, he had applied for an anticipatory bail, and the Madras High Court had declined his bail, stating any comment MLA makes should be responsible for. He should be responsible for, and there is action in this case also. He has been arrested, and his anticipatory bail plea was rejected. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the DMK MLA Anita R. Radhakrishnan. Anita R. Radhakrishnan, who has been arrested in this case because of the comment that he had made against TVK chief. Big breaking news development coming in on your screens. DMK MLA and ex-Tamil Nadu minister. This is Anita Radhakrishnan. All right, Sharda is live with us with all the latest details. Sharda, what's the latest that you're fetching on this story? His anticipatory bail plea was also rejected.
Well, today morning, Shivam, Radhakrishnan applied for an anticipatory bail in the Madras High Court, which was rejected. Following that, the police of the Thoothukudi district have arrested the former minister of the DMK and the current MLA Anita Radhakrishnan in this particular case. If you remember, he made a statement against Chief Minister Vijay, saying that he's a person who comes from a film background, and added that he would have not been in the assembly and that he would have spent time with an actress, and made multiple demeaning statements from his family, saying that his wife and his kids are not with him, and that it was only an actress who is now supporting him and surrounding him. So this was the comment that Anita Radhakrishnan had made, and it was the same case for which a case was filed against him and in a public meet where he made it. So following that, now a case was registered, and later also the TVK minister Nirmal Kumar 3 days back sought the permission from the governor as well to take action against multiple DMK ministers, whereas the DVAC has few missing complaints as well against the DMK leaders. So now this is the first arrest that's been made by the TVK government against the DMK former ministers, and the current MLA Anita Radhakrishnan has been arrested for making a demeaning comment against Chief Minister Vijay. So now MK Stalin, the DMK president, has also made a statement in this, telling that the TVK is a take diversion government, and instead of taking action against TVK MLAs, TVK cadres who has complained against them in the police station for multiple other cases including sexual harassment, now TVK is focusing on the DMK leaders and arresting them.
All right, stay with us. We have another big breaking news development. Let's go across to the breaking news development, and we'll need your comment on that too. This is about DMK President MK Stalin, who made a statement against the arrest of DMK MLA Anita Radhakrishnan and claims that TVK is taking a diversion, diversion government, and instead of arresting TVK MLAs whose name was involved in multiple sexual assault cases, TVK now has an upper hold with the state police and are arresting the DMK leaders. So this is MK Stalin on the arrest, on the recent arrest of the DMK MLA Anita R. Radhakrishnan, and this is the DMK's reaction. They are passing the buck on the TVK and blaming them that they are misusing the police in this case, and they're saying that because they have control over the police and hence such actions. Now, A big statement has come, Sharda, from DMK chief Stalin. What reactions are coming in this entire matter? What developments?
Well, after Anita Radhakrishnan was arrested today morning, he's been inquired by the state police in the SP office in Thoothukudi. Now, reacting to that, the DMK leader, MK Stalin, has made a comment saying that the TVK government is already taking action against DMK and saying that it's a take diversion government. It's a government that is focusing on issues like making comments against the chief minister, made critics against the chief minister. But the Madras High Court today morning rejected the anticipatory bail, stating that MNA cannot make demeaning comments against the chief minister, and also said that the MLA should take responsibility for what he spoke is why the reason the anticipatory bail was rejected. Now, the chief minister points out, telling that the TVK government is taking action only against the DMK leaders and not the TVK MLAs against whom the complaints have been registered in the past few weeks, and also constantly pointing out through his tweet on X that the TVK government is only trying to shut down the DMK by taking action against the leaders in multiple ways, including DVAC, pointing them in corruption, pointing them at multiple other statements has been made in the past, and the TVK leader and including TVK minister Arnab Arjuna, who recently pointed his hands at the DMK for what happened in Karur. So now the DMK is facing it all legally. They're also going to be moving the Supreme Court on a case against the TVK minister Arnab Arjuna for making a comment saying that the DMK is responsible for the Karur stampede. So we can see that the political war game has begun between the DMK and the TVK in the state of Tamil Nadu.
All right, thanks a lot for all the latest details. Keep track of all the developments. We'll come back to you as more details emerge. Thanks a lot. All right, viewers, let's move on to another big breaking news development that we are getting, and this is about a fake doctor's racket. Yes, a fake doctor's racket. Now, in a major crackdown by the Special Operations Group, that is the SOG in Jaipur in Rajasthan, a large racket that provided fake foreign medical graduate certificates from the Foreign Medical Graduate Examination, that is the FMGE certificates, to individuals, turning them into doctors. Now, for 20 to 30 lakh rupees, ladies and gentlemen, this has been accused, and these are the few doctors, the 3 doctors who were arrested, and the 3 more doctors who completed their MBBS abroad, that is Navdeep Tambolia, Chirag Sahu and Afridi Khan, who were arrested for securing registration with the Rajasthan Medical Council, the RMC, using forged FMG certificates despite failing the exam multiple times. So they were failures, and they still got the certificates because they paid for it. There's corruption involved, and they had even completed internships in government and private medical colleges. So they did internships in government colleges, medical colleges, private colleges. With this, the total number of accused arrested in the racket has reached 25. Not just 3 cases, but 25 have been arrested, while investigation has flagged over 100 suspicious doctors. The network allegedly operated through middlemen, including prime accused Bhanaram Mali, who is under intense scrutiny. And the 3 recently arrested individuals have been remanded to police custody till July the 4th, as the SOG continues probing the roles of other doctors. Our correspondent has filed a ground report. Let's listen into that.
25 लाख रुपए दीजिए और बिना FMG पास करे बिना ही आप डॉक्टर बन जाइए। जी हाँ, बिल्कुल ऐसा ही कुछ राजस्थान में देखने को मिला है, जहां राजस्थान एसओजी ने इस पूरे मामले में बड़ी कार्रवाई करते हुए लगभग 100 ऐसे ग्रेजुएट्स थे जिन्हें चिन्हित किया गया है और 25 से ज़्यादा फिलहाल इस पूरे मामले में गिरफ्तारी हो गई है और 3 की फिलहाल राजस्थान एसओजी ने यहां पर गिरफ्तारी की है। लगातार राजस्थान एसओजी इस पूरे मामले में ताबड़तोड़ कार्रवाई करता हुआ नजर आ रहा है, लेकिन बड़ा सवाल ये है कि आखिरकार कैसे आम लोगों की ज़िंदगी से खिलवाड़ किया जा रहा है। बताया ये भी जा रहा है कि फर्जी सर्टिफिकेट के ज़रिए पहले इंटर्नशिप और इंटर्नशिप से सीधे तौर पर डॉक्टर बनने तक का रास्ता यहाँ पर साफ किया गया है। इस पूरे मामले में RMC के पूर्व रजिस्ट्रार समेत तमाम लोगों की फिलहाल गिरफ्तारियां हो गई है। राजस्थान एसओजी फिलहाल इसके पूरे मास्टरमाइंड और कहां तक इस पूरे मामले की जड़ देखने को मिल रही है, इस पूरे मामले में राजस्थान एसओजी लगातार ताबड़तोड़ कार्रवाई कर रहा है।
बाहर की कंट्रीज से कुछ कंट्रीज को छोड़ के बाकी सभी कंट्रीज से जो MBBS करके आते हैं उनको देश में FMG एग्जाम, फॉरेन मेडिकल ग्रेजुएट एग्जामिनेशन पास करना पड़ता है। उसके बाद में वो इंडिया में रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए और फर्दर स्टडीज और प्रैक्टिस के लिए एलिजिबल हो पाते हैं। तो इसमें हमने पाया कि काफ़ी सारी संख्या में कैंडिडेट्स जो एक्चुअल में एफएमजी क्लियर नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, उन्होंने फर्जी एफएमजी के सर्टिफिकेट्स बनाए। उन सर्टिफिकेट्स को मेडिकल काउंसिल की वेबसाइट्स के ऊपर अपलोड किया और अपलोड करके कुछ का प्रोविजनल रजिस्ट्रेशन करवा के गवर्नमेंट के मेडिकल कॉलेजेस के अंदर इंटर्नशिप करने लग गए। और यदि ये खुलासा नहीं होता तो उनका फिर फाइनल रजिस्ट्रेशन भी हो जाता और वो प्रैक्टिस भी करने लग जाते। तो उसी क्रम में हमने करीब 100 के करीब ऐसे कैंडिडेट्स को अभी फिलहाल इनिशियल फेज में आइडेंटिफाई किया है। उनमें से करीब 35 के करीब को हमने अरेस्ट कर लिया है, बाकी और की कार्रवाई जारी है। इसमें सेंटर वगैरह तो है ही नहीं, ये एग्जाम तो देते ही नहीं थे, ये तो सिर्फ डायरेक्ट सर्टिफिकेट बना लेते थे और वो सर्टिफिकेट बना के गैंग का आरएमसी में कनेक्शन था, तो गैंग डायरेक्टली आरएमसी से उनको अप्रूव करवा देती थी। तो इनका एग्जाम का और सेंटर से कोई रिलेशन नहीं है, ये तो प्योर एंड सिंपल यूज ऑफ फोर्स्ड डॉक्यूमेंट एज जेन्युइन का केस है।
So that was a big revelation where there are many fake doctors right now in Jaipur, in Rajasthan, and there are 100 doctors who fall under the suspicious category. Now let's move on to another top story. Now 3 tragic deaths in Maharashtra are now raising serious questions about civic apathy and contractor negligence. Now in Pune, 2-year-old Soham Lakhan Kasbe drowned after falling into a rainwater-filled pit outside his home. The pit was one of 4 dug for drainage and allegedly left open without safety measures. Loni HAL Police have booked an unidentified contractor. In Mumbai's Mumbai, 17-year-old Alia Mohammad Sajid Chandiwala died of electrocution on Wednesday evening. She came in contact with a live current while walking through a waterlogged stretch near her building's iron gate. Her family says complaints about voltage fluctuation to torrent power were ignored. Now, police have booked power officials for negligence. And in Nagpur's Tajbagh area, 65-year-old Afroza Begum died instantly from an electric shock while returning from a grocery store. Live current had spread through water accumulated on the road, allegedly due to negligence by municipal corporation, contractors and electricity officials. In all 3 cases, residents are demanding accountability, stricter safety enforcement and compensation for the victims' families. So this is big, and there have been more cases in this matter. We're also getting to know there was a biker who also died, who was injured, seriously injured. He also died in this incident, among many incidents which are happening in Maharashtra. Revati is live with us. All right, we don't have Revati live right now with us, but these are the many cases, one among the many cases from Maharashtra, where you can clearly see there's an open pit, there's an open drain in which a 2-year-old little child lost his life, died because of the negligence, the criminal negligence of the authorities. And in the 2 other cases, a 17-year-old girl was electrocuted and she died as a result because she was walking on the water. And there was live current in the water, and this is the 3rd incident where a 65-year-old woman died because of electrocution. And in the similar case, it was similar to the incident where the 17-year-old died also because of electrocution, because there was current, live current in the water. The Uniform Civil Code debate is set to intensify in West Bengal. The state cabinet will take up the draft UCC bill at a high-level meeting in Nabanna today. An expert committee headed by former Supreme Court Judge Justice Ranjana Prakash Desai has been tasked with examining the draft before it is placed in the assembly. Here's a report.
The West Bengal government has initiated the next step towards framing its Uniform Civil Code, with the draft bill set to be discussed at a cabinet meeting in Nabanna. The meeting, scheduled for 2 p.m, will be attended by ministers and secretaries from all government departments to deliberate on the proposed legislation. The state cabinet has already approved the formation of an expert committee to examine the draft Uniform Civil Code bill. The panel will be headed by retired Supreme Court Judge Justice Ranjana Prakash Desai, who has been given 4 weeks to study the draft and submit recommendations. According to the state government, once the committee submits its report, the draft UCC bill will be placed before the West Bengal Legislative Assembly for further consideration. The move comes as the Uniform Civil Code continues to remain a key political and legal issue, with several states examining similar legislation. The expert panel's recommendations are expected to shape the final draft before it is formally introduced in the Assembly.
All right, viewers, we have another big breaking news development. Let's go to that breaking news development. This is the government ordering removal of BAT, BMS, lozenge and iron apps being misused in remotely disabling battery-operated vehicles, that is electric vehicles. Any other such apps being misused will also be blocked. So this has been blocked by the government as per our sources, and this has been blocked by the government, have directed Google Play Store and Apple App Store to remove apps like BAT BMS, lozenge and Epoch Iron. Now this action comes in response to viral social media incidents where pranksters used unsecured Bluetooth connections to remotely shut off electric three-wheelers. So that is the case where this happened, and the targeted applications are legitimate battery management systems, monitoring tools originally designed to track metrics like voltage and temperature. However, some budget lithium-ion batteries feature Bluetooth connections that lack basic authentication or encryption. Now this flaw allows anyone within a 10 to 15 meter range to connect to the battery and trigger the discharge switch, rendering the vehicle temporarily inoperable. Now the government and the transport department were closely monitoring the situation. Local police is in action, and now, as per our sources, the BAT, BMS, lozenge, Epoch Ion apps will be removed. To be removed, this is the big action that is happening after there were many viral videos of the three electric three-wheelers where they were switched off and they were temporarily inoperable. Now this is the big action which is happening as per the sources. BAT, BMS, lozenge, Epoch Iron apps to be removed so that there will not be any future misuse. This is exactly the video which we are talking about. As you can see, certain people, while they were behind the e-rickshaw, and because there is a Bluetooth connection via which you can connect to the three-wheeler, and they temporarily disabled the e-rickshaw, the electric rickshaw. As you can see, the e-rickshaw stopped because of what they did, and this happens with a simple Bluetooth connection and an app that helps them in doing so. And this is the app. These are apps like the BAT, BMS, lozenge and Epoch Ion. The action is now in response to these videos only, the viral social media incidents where certain pranksters used unsecured Bluetooth connections to remotely shut off electric three-wheelers. Ladies and gentlemen, apps stalling battery vehicles to be removed. This is as per the government action, as per the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, MeitY, and the government, who have directed the Google Play Store and Apple Play Store and Apple App Store to remove apps like BAT, BMS, lozenge and Epoch Ion. This action comes in response to viral social media incidents where pranksters used unsecured Bluetooth connections to remotely shut off electric three-wheelers. That's the big breaking news development that we are talking about, the big action that has happened in this entire case. BAT, BMS, lozenge, Epoch Ion apps to be removed. As per these are the visuals, these are the videos of how they stopped electric vehicles because they don't have a very secure Bluetooth connection that lacks basic authentication or encryption, easy to break, easy to track. The annual Sri Amarnath Yatra begins today with thousands of devotees embarking on the sacred pilgrimage to the Himalayan cave shrine. Now, Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha flagged off the first batch of pilgrims from Jammu, marking the start of a 57-day spiritual journey amid extensive security arrangements and heightened enthusiasm among devotees. Here's a report on everything we know so far.
Chants of Bam Bam Bole echoed through Jammu as the first batch of pilgrims set off for the sacred Amarnath Yatra, one of India's most revered religious journeys. Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha flagged off the inaugural convoy from the Bhagwati Nagar Yatri Niwas, marking the formal commencement of the annual pilgrimage. The 57-day Yatra begins today and will continue till August 28th, coinciding with the festival of Raksha Bandhan.
This is a camp where the facilities have been provided for all these yatris, although the number is coming around 10,000, those many of them who have reached through the private vehicles, the train journey, many of them have taken, and some of them have also come in using via these buses that were provided by the administration. But meanwhile, we are also seeing many of the yatris who have turned quite offended, saying that they are not being allowed to go inside the camp because of the registration issues that they are facing, although many of them are staying here on the very road. Despite the challenging weather, they are not even leaving the place, waiting that when they will be getting a green signal from the administration.
Authorities have made elaborate arrangements for the smooth conduct of the pilgrimage, including accommodations, medical facilities, transportation and disaster response mechanisms. Security remains a key focus with a multi-layered security grid deployed along both routes.
इसमें काफ़ी फोर्सेस लगी हैं, CAPF, आर्मी, पुलिस, JKP मेनली, और हमने इसमें प्रॉपर अरेंजमेंट किया था और प्रॉपर तरीके से अभी ऑलमोस्ट सारी कार्रवाई आ चुकी है और हमने प्रॉपर तरीके से ये लोग अपने कैंप में जा रहे हैं लोग और प्रॉपर लाइन वगैरह लग के पूरा इनका हुआ है और काफ़ी अच्छा अरेंजमेंट हो गया है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है.
Security agencies have also carried out extensive area domination exercises and route sanitization ahead of the pilgrimage.
Meanwhile, we are seeing the army in action. The drone systems have been chipped in. They are monitoring the entire tracks, the area where from the yatra will proceed, and also the AI has been given a focus this time. There have been the multiple around 600 CCTV cameras that have been installed that will be monitoring these yatris. So this is the Amarnath Yatra of the 2026, where we see a jam-packed pilgrims number just outside the Srinagar's transit camp.
All right, it's time to slip into short commercial break, but don't go anywhere because we have a lot more lined up coming up after the break. DMK versus TVK intensifies in Tamil Nadu. DMK likely to move Supreme Court over TVK minister's comment on Karur stampede.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट,
स्वाद बनाए चमकी चाट.
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और फरसान, अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान.
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट.
AU करंट अकाउंट के साथ मिलता है फ्री UPI QR ओवरड्राफ्ट फैसिलिटी और एक ही ऐप से बैंक के सारे काम. AU
सोच बदलो और बैंक भी.
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार.
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला. केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे. केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार. विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी.
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाई जीरा सिप. MTH का जल जीरा जीरा सिप.
जीरा सिप, असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा.
MTH.
By the way, viewers, I'm driving in Delhi with Delhi wala boy Aman Gupta, who is too busy waving to his fans than talking to me. Please come down to earth, Aman.
Yes, I am sorry.
You're on my show.
I forgot.
This is not your show. This is my show. Stop waving to your fans. Be modest. Now everybody look. अरे आप politician हो. आप politician हो. आप ये क्या कर रहे हो? This is too much.
आपने बोला humble हो, मैं humble हो रहा हूँ.
You became very famous during Balika Badhu.
At that time, there was a huge amount of fame and focus, right?
There was.
People must be writing about you. The paparazzi would have written about you.
There were no paparazzis at that time.
You're not that old.
No, I mean it. There were no paparazzi.
You were no paparazzi at that time.
There were no paparazzis.
This has happened now? There was no Viral Bayani then?
Back then, it was just, you know.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद ये तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा
Amity has been ranked among the top universities globally for producing the most employable graduates by the Times Higher Education UK. Yet another testimony to Amity's excellent placement record.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट।
स्वाद बनाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है। स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और परेशान। अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk tonight about an incident where an FIR got registered against 4 people. This is an incident which has happened in Madhya Pradesh, in Ujjain, and there is this strange video which shows a van suspended about 40 feet in the air. And it's suspended with a crane, some kind of a huge big crane. And there are explosives which are put inside this van, and then the van is detonated. Watch this very carefully, ladies and gentlemen. This is apparently during a Muharram procession, where the organizers fill a car with explosives, lift it 40 feet in the air with explosives, put a slogan on the vehicle saying, "Le fir aage," which means, look, we are back. And then they explode the van. And at that point of time, there are posters put, there's a lot of mayhem. It's also seen in the video that there are 2 people who are waving red flags before the blast, and the car is detonated mid-air amidst the spectators. There are videos from an Instagram account which also show a young man performing other explosion-related stunts, such as filling a drum with explosives and blasting it. And there are intense explosives used out there. This is all a celebration of explosions. These are not fireworks, let me tell you this, viewers. Now, the police arrested the accused, and there was a procession of the accused also taken out. The accused identified as one Shoaib, Zahid Khan and Taslim. Shoaib organized the event, and Zahid and Taslim were the ones waving the flag while standing.
A very warm welcome, viewers. You're watching Republic TV. This is Shivam Dutt Mehta. India's defense story is entering a transformative new era powered by indigenous innovation, cutting-edge emerging technology, and a rapidly expanding defense industrial ecosystem. As the nation accelerates its journey towards strategic self-reliance and the vision of Viksit Bharat 2047, Republic brings together the policymakers, defense leaders, innovators, and industry pioneers shaping the future of national security. Join us on 18th July in New Delhi for Republic Defence Forces' first conclave, Bharat, the defence powerhouse, where the spotlight will be on next-generation military technologies, advanced defence platforms, indigenous capabilities, and the government and industry partnerships driving India's technological transformation. Stay tuned for insightful conversations, exclusive perspectives, and the ideas that will define the future of India's defence ecosystem. Now let's shift our focus and get you all the top headlines of the hour. Back-to-back cases of civic apathy comes to light. 2 electrocuted after rain and 1 drowns after falling into open pit. 2 daycare caretakers arrested for allegedly physically abusing toddlers at a daycare in Bengaluru. Prime accused sent to 14-day custody. DMK versus TVK intensifies in Tamil Nadu. DMK likely to move Supreme Court over TVK minister's comment on Karur stampede. Government orders removal of controversial apps stalling battery vehicles. Apps like BAT, BMS, Lossigi to be removed. All right, viewers, let's begin this bulletin with a big breaking news development that we're getting in this matter. This is about the Bengaluru daycare horror. The National Commission for Protection of Child Rights has taken suo motu cognizance of alleged physical abuse and torture of children at a daycare center inside an IT company's Bengaluru campus. In a letter dated July 2nd, 2026, addressed to Bengaluru Urban Deputy Commissioner P.S. Kantaraju, the NCPCR said that its team, led by senior technical expert Paresh Shah, will visit Bengaluru today for a fact-finding inquiry. Now, more details are awaited as the probe begins. So this is another development in the Bengaluru daycare horror case. The NCPCR takes suo motu cognizance in the daycare horror. And now a fact-finding team will be visiting, a two-member team, that's what we're getting to know, that will be visiting the team to investigate the matter. And these are little children, little toddlers who are the victims of the physical abuse. As you can see, the visuals on your screen, the monsters also on your screens, those who were physically abusing these little children, and they were being beaten, abused, and the way they were being treated, very inhuman treatment for the little children on your screens. A nightmare for any parent to see their children in such a state. There are many victims, many little toddlers, the victims of this abuse. The accused on your screens, as you can see. Abhishek is live with us for all the latest details, and there have been a lot of updates since we are tracking the story from the time it broke. Abhishek, the NCPCR team was supposed to be there. Have they arrived? Has the fact-finding team arrived at the location for investigation? What are the updates, Abhishek?
Well, at this point of time, the NCPCR, who's taken the cognizance of this entire case, is about to reach the private office location or the campus where the incident occurred. And we are right in front of the Capgemini's another gate. This is the side gate of the entire company where the incident took place a couple of days ago. And also, we shouldn't forget the fact, Shivam, that the HAL Police have already reached the location. They have continued their efforts to grab and gather all the available data from questioning the parents who left their kids to the daycare facility, and also they have started interrogating the manager on floor and various other persons who were responsible for the safety of the children within the campus. And also they have started taking the statements from various other employees who've been working with this particular company to know if this incident was a fresh incident or had these kind of incidents previously happened and that had been major suppressed. And also we shouldn't forget the fact that out of the 5 accused women, 4 have already received their notices. 1 is already behind the bars as of now. She has already been sent to accused number 2. Vijayalaxmi has been sent to the judicial custody today morning. Starting from today, it will be a 14-day judicial custody. 3 of them who had already received the notice have gone through the interrogation by the HAL Police, and they have answered whatever questions had been laid down in front of them by the HAL Police. And also one person who's absconding as of now, the police have started launched an investigation as to find out where the 5th person who is already on the absconding, and the benefit of doubt is that the person who's absconding might have been involved in the abuse emotionally, physically and mentally to the children who were part of the daycare. And at this point of time, we have certain information that the HAL Police have already reached the location. They have already surrounded within the campus. They've started taking the information. They have started taking the statements from the people who belong to the Capgemini company as well as the employees who had left their children at the daycare facility. On the other hand, the NCPCR, which has already taken the cognizance of this entire matter, has reached Bengaluru and is on official word with the Karnataka state government, and they are also in words with the Child Rights Commission of the Karnataka, is what we have been told as of now. On the other hand, we've also been informed that Human Rights Commission might also fall into the picture. The Karnataka State Women Commission chairperson, Dr. Nagalakshmi Chowdhury, previously when she spoke to Republic TV, had mentioned the fact that she will not stand by these women who are the actual accused in this particular case, because the video very evidently shows that the women in the daycare setup were very clearly violating the norms of putting the infants or toddlers within the restroom. They were made to sit in the western commode. They were made to sit within the front-loaded washing machine. They were abused. They were threatened. They were inhumanly treated. And in this particular video, accused number 2, Vijayalakshmi, was clearly seen, and she was questioned by the police, and she had accepted whatever she had done, and that is why she had been taken into custody by the HAL Police as of now. Seemant Kumar Singh,
and strict action must be taken. Strict action must be taken, Abhishek, in this matter. And what's really horrifying is some children, toddlers at this age, can't even can't even narrate to their parents what exactly is happening to them. We have another big breaking news development. Let's go to that development first, and we have Abhishek for all the latest updates. Now, police have intensified their investigation into the child abuse case at the private daycare center. The prime accused, Vijayalakshmi, has been arrested and produced before the court. The court has remanded the accused to 14 days of judicial custody, and the police are also investigating the role of other staff members who were present at the daycare during the incident. And also, as highlighted by our correspondent on the ground, investigators are verifying who was on duty at the time and whether anyone else was also involved or failed to report the alleged abuse. The investigation is continuing, and further action is likely based on the evidence which has been gathered. So, Abhishek, one is absconding, 3 of them gone through the interrogation, 1 has been sent to judicial custody. But what's shocking is the way that this was being managed. Who else could also be involved in this entire matter? And also the role of the corporate, of the company, who can't act to be negligent of exactly what happened. It was happening inside their premises. You are right now outside Capgemini's headquarters, their office, outside the location where inside the daycare is there and where the incident happened. Now, what kind of reactions are coming in this entire incident? There has to be some sort of accountability that should be in place, and there should be punishment indeed.
Shivam, just a couple of buildings from what we are showing on the screen now. The incident occurred in one of the daycare setups, which the company, Capgemini, has very evidently said, has put out a press release stating that they have closed the daycare facility. But the fact is that accountability, who is supposed to be accountable for this entire situation? While talking to the media, Karnataka Home Minister Priyank Kharge has mentioned the fact that Capgemini is using the land of Bengaluru, is operating from Bengaluru. Bengaluru has its own remarks and it is famous worldwide, and despite knowing this fact, why isn't Capgemini not accountable? The Capgemini has very clearly mentioned that the agency was outsourced. If we go by the rule of law, the first person who's accountable for this entire incident would be the agency which is supposed to make sure that the daycare workers are from verified background. The second team would be the campus or the Capgemini campus, which also will have to have a manager on duty to check if even the third-party agencies are following the rules and the regulations of the land. And the third person or the third party will be the collective team of the BBMP and the education officials, because it is under their supervision all these daycares come unto. So at this point of time, it is a collective negligence of be it the GBA, be it the education department, be it the Capgemini, be it the agency which was taking care of the daycare facility in the premises. So this is one such incident that has come out in Bengaluru, but the Child Rights Commission persons of the record say there are various other instances that have happened in the last couple of months, and these weren't brought to the light. But after this incident surfaced on various other social media platforms as well as media houses, the fact is that when we try to speak to various other persons who are involved in this, some of the people don't want to comment on this. Some of the people who are accountable aren't answering the phone. Some of the people who are supposed to give a clarity on this aren't available on either phone or email. So this, at this point of time, the negligence is not from one particular person, it is collectively by the entire system, and this has to be cleaned, is what Home Minister has demanded as of now. And also he mentions for a fact that he has demanded a report from the Karnataka State Police or the Bengaluru City Commissioner as to who is accountable for this entire incident, after which he will write a letter to the Women and Child Commission seeking their intervention to audit all the daycare facilities which are working in Karnataka. And he also wants to know if all of them are legally operated if all the daycare centers have verified daycare workers. So at this point of time, this might take a couple of days, but it is sure that this will happen in the next couple of days or weeks after the report is generated by the Bengaluru City Commissioner. Shivam.
Right, Abhishek, many thanks for joining us with your those inputs coming in on that story that Republic TV is closely tracking. Let's shift our focus, viewers, to the other stories on Republic TV with you. The protester in the case is identified by a friend as Lokba Rangzen, fully dressed in monastic garb when he planted a Tibetan flag on the sidewalk in front of the United Nations headquarters in New York and then self-immolated along the busy street during the evening rush. Now, viewers, we have this report to know more about this case.
A 42-year-old man holding a Tibetan flag died after setting himself on fire in front of the United Nations headquarters in New York. The incident occurred at 42nd Street and 1st Avenue. Rangzen, who has lived in the United States for about 20 years, crumbled to the ground in less than a minute after he was engulfed in the flames. About 15 seconds later, a pair of first responders with fire extinguishers doused the flames. Police were spotted at the scene carrying sheets of paper, one of which said "China out of Tibet," a slogan commonly associated with the Tibetan independence movement or contemporary Free Tibet movement. The man was taken to Bellevue Hospital and later pronounced dead, according to the police. Law enforcement are investigating the self-immolation. Officials say they were not able to comment on what prompted the man to set himself on fire.
And viewers, on to the deaths due to negligence, that is civic apathy in Maharashtra, are now rising. In fact, they're also raising serious questions about this civic apathy and the negligence. Now, in Pune, viewers, the latest case coming in is when a 2-year-old Soham Lakhan Kasbe drowned after falling into a rainwater-filled pit right outside his home. The pit was one of 4 dug for drainage, and allegedly they were left open without safety measures. And Loni Kalbor police have booked an unidentified contractor. And viewers, meanwhile in Mumbai, you have 17-year-old Alia Mohammad Chandiwala who died of electrocution. These are cases, viewers, in a span of 3 days. We have at least 6 cases that have come in from Maharashtra, from Thane, that is the Mumbai metropolitan region. You have even cases coming in from Sakinaka yesterday, where we saw a 55-year-old man fell into an open manhole. Now this younger 17-year-old electrocuted in Thane and in Mumbai, and she came into contact with the live current wire while walking through a waterlogged stretch near her building's Iron Gate. Her family says the complaints about voltage fluctuation to torrent power were ignored. Police have booked power officials for negligence. In Nagpur's Taj Bagh, viewers, it's not just about Mumbai. In Nagpur, you're seeing these visuals. 65-year-old Afroza Begum died instantly from an electric shock while returning from a grocery store. You can see her body that's lying there. Live current spread through the water accumulated on the road, and that's allegedly due to the negligence by the municipal corporation contractors and electricity officials. In all these cases, viewers, the residents are in anger. They're demanding accountability, stricter safety enforcement, and compensation for the victims' families. Revti is joining us live on the broadcast from Revti. Well, we saw several cases in the past 48 to 72 hours. There are numerous cases that have come in from Mumbai, from Thane, from Nagpur, and they continue to be reported. Monsoon, just the first spell of monsoon, and we have innocents who are being killed for what? Because of somebody's negligence. And another case is coming in from Nagpur, where we saw that dead body lying like a live wire, the current flowing through water, and nothing has changed, it seems.
Right, as you rightly mentioned, and also before this I have reiterated the fact that it's just a different year but the same situation in entire Mumbai. So starting first with the very shocking incident in Navi Mumbai, where 2 school-going girls were electrocuted, followed by the incident which happened yesterday in Kurla, where the 60-year-old man fell into an open drainage line and there was no security measures was there. Skip to today, where a 2-year-old boy fell into a pit which was dug for the water to flow away, sewage water actually, and the rainwater, but instead he fell into it and he was drowned. Also, the most shocking part is that though there is no accountability of it. Also in Nagpur, a 65-year-old woman who was coming back from a grocery shop, she was electrocuted. Also, these incidents keep on happening in Mumbai's Mira Bhayandar area. There also a son of former deputy mayor, he died as 2 days before a coconut tree fell on him. So these are the incidents which are reported within a span of a week. So the pre-monsoon works are expected to be done latest by May end, but it is not done. It is pretty much evident because also recently an 11-year-old boy also lost his life because a huge tree fell on the school bus and he lost his life there. So these are the incidents, and now the question is about the accountability of who is to be held responsible for these incidents, because the blame game, yesterday also we saw Mayor Ritu Taude said that it is up to the commissioner, and today at around 3:30 p.m. commissioner will be addressing, BMC commissioner will be addressing a press conference. So it will be important to see that what does she say in all these matters. Over to you.
All right, many thanks, Ripti, there for joining us with those details. Of course, Republic TV continues to bring out these stories and raise questions which no one is, because our lives do matter. Viewers, we have now some breaking news coming in. It's a major crackdown by the Special Operations Group, that is the SOG, in Jaipur. A large racket that provided fake foreign medical graduate certificates to individuals, turning them into doctors for 20 to 30 lakh rupees, has been now exposed. The doctors who completed their MBBS abroad, Navdeep Tambolia, Chirag Sahu, Afridi Khan, they've all been arrested for securing registration with the Rajasthan Medical Council using forged FMG certificates despite failing the exam multiple times. They'd even completed internships at government and private medical colleges. And with this, the total number of accused arrested in the racket has reached 25, while the investigation has flagged over 100 doctors who are under suspicion. Now, the network allegedly operated through middlemen, including prime accused Bhanaram Mali, is under intense scrutiny. And the 3 recently arrested individuals have been remanded to police custody till the 4th of July as the SOG continues probing the roles of other doctors, middlemen, and possible corrupt officials involved in the matter. In fact, my colleague Rahul has filed this report from Jaipur to bring you more on this story.
25 लाख रुपए दीजिए और बिना FMG पास करे बिना ही आप डॉक्टर बन जाइए। जी हाँ, बिल्कुल ऐसा ही कुछ राजस्थान में देखने को मिला है, जहां राजस्थान एसओजी ने इस पूरे मामले में बड़ी कार्रवाई करते हुए लगभग 100 ऐसे ग्रेजुएट्स थे जिन्हें चिन्हित किया गया है और 25 से ज़्यादा फिलहाल इस पूरे मामले में गिरफ्तारी हो गई है और 3 की फिलहाल राजस्थान एसओजी ने यहां पर गिरफ्तारी की है। लगातार राजस्थान एसओजी इस पूरे मामले में ताबड़तोड़ कार्रवाई करता हुआ नजर आ रहा है, लेकिन बड़ा सवाल ये है कि आखिरकार कैसे आम लोगों की जिंदगी से खिलवाड़ किया जा रहा है। बताया ये भी जा रहा है कि फर्जी सर्टिफिकेट के जरिए पहले इंटर्नशिप और इंटर्नशिप से सीधे तौर पर डॉक्टर बनने तक का रास्ता यहां पर साफ किया गया है। इस पूरे मामले में आरएमसी के पूर्व रजिस्ट्रार समेत तमाम लोगों की फिलहाल गिरफ्तारियां हो गई है। राजस्थान एसओजी फिलहाल इसके पूरे मास्टरमाइंड और कहां तक इस पूरे मामले की जड़ देखने को मिल रही है, इस पूरे मामले में राजस्थान एसओजी लगातार ताबड़तोड़ कार्रवाई कर रहा है।
बाहर की कंट्रीज से कुछ कंट्रीज को छोड़ के बाकी सभी कंट्रीज से जो एमबीबीएस करके आते हैं उनको देश में एफएमजी एग्जाम, फॉरेन मेडिकल ग्रेजुएट एग्जामिनेशन पास करना पड़ता है। उसके बाद में वो इंडिया में रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए और फर्दर स्टडीज और प्रैक्टिस के लिए एलिजिबल हो पाते हैं। तो इसमें हमने पाया कि काफ़ी सारी संख्या में कैंडिडेट्स जो एक्चुअल में एफएमजी क्लियर नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, उन्होंने फर्जी एफएमजी के सर्टिफिकेट्स बनाए। उन सर्टिफिकेट्स को मेडिकल काउंसिल की वेबसाइट्स के ऊपर अपलोड किया और अपलोड करके कुछ का प्रोविजनल रजिस्ट्रेशन करवा के गवर्नमेंट के मेडिकल कॉलेजेस के अंदर इंटर्नशिप करने लग गए और यदि ये खुलासा नहीं होता तो उनका फिर फाइनल रजिस्ट्रेशन भी हो जाता और वो प्रैक्टिस भी करने लग जाते। तो उसी क्रम में हमने करीब 100 के करीब ऐसे कैंडिडेट्स को अभी फिलहाल इनिशियल फेज में आइडेंटिफाई किया है। उनमें से करीब 35 के करीब को हमने अरेस्ट कर लिया है, बाकी और की कार्रवाई जारी है। इसमें सेंटर वगैरह तो है ही नहीं है, एग्जाम तो देते ही नहीं थे, ये तो सिर्फ डायरेक्ट सर्टिफिकेट बना लेते थे और वो सर्टिफिकेट बना के गैंग का आरएमसी में कनेक्शन था, तो गैंग डायरेक्टली आरएमसी से उनको अप्रूव करवा देती थी। तो इनका एग्जाम का और सेंटर से कोई रिलेशन नहीं है, ये तो प्योर एंड सिंपल use of forged document as genuine practice.
The Uniform Civil Code debate is intensifying in West Bengal, and the State Cabinet today will take up the draft UCC bill at a high-level meeting at Nabanna today. And an expert committee headed by the former Supreme Court Judge Justice Ranjana Prakash Desai has been tasked with examining the draft before it is tabled in the Assembly. Here's more on that.
The West Bengal government has initiated the next step towards framing its Uniform Civil Code, with the draft bill set to be discussed at a cabinet meeting in Nabanna. The meeting, scheduled for 2 p.m, will be attended by ministers and secretaries from all government departments to deliberate on the proposed legislation. The State Cabinet has already approved the formation of an expert committee to examine the draft Uniform Civil Code bill. The panel will be headed by retired Supreme Court Judge Justice Ranjana Prakash Desai, who has been given 4 weeks to study the draft and submit recommendations. According to the state government, once the committee submits its report, the draft UCC bill will be placed before the West Bengal Legislative Assembly for further consideration. The move comes as the Uniform Civil Code continues to remain a key political and legal issue, with several states examining similar legislation. The expert panel's recommendations are expected to shape the final draft before it is formally introduced in the Assembly.
Meanwhile, viewers, the annual Sri Amarnath Yatra is set to begin today. Has begun today. Thousands of devotees embarking on the sacred pilgrimage to the Himalayan cave shrine. Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha flagged off the first batch of pilgrims from Jammu, marking the start of the 57-day spiritual journey amid extensive security arrangements for the annual Yatra. Here's more on that.
Chants of Bam Bam Bole echoed through Jammu as the first batch of pilgrims set off for the sacred Amarnath Yatra, one of India's most revered religious journeys. Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha flagged off the inaugural convoy from the Bhagwati Nagar Yatri Niwas, marking the formal commencement of the annual pilgrimage. The 57-day Yatra begins today and will continue till August 28th, coinciding with the festival of Raksha Bandhan.
This is a camp where the facilities have been provided for all these yatris, although the number is coming around 10,000, many of them who have reached through the private vehicles, the train journey, many of them have taken, and some of them have also come in using via these buses that were provided by the administration. But meanwhile, we are also seeing many of the yatris who have turned quite offended, saying that they are not being allowed to go inside the camp because of the registration issues that they are facing, although many of them are staying here on the very road despite the challenging weather. They are not even leaving the place, waiting that when they will be getting a green signal from the administration.
Authorities have made elaborate arrangements for the smooth conduct of the pilgrimage, including accommodations, medical facilities, transportation and disaster response mechanisms. Security remains a key focus with a multi-layered security grid deployed along both routes.
इसमें काफ़ी फोर्सेस लगी हैं, सीएपीएफ, आर्मी, पुलिस, जेकेपी मेनली, और हमने इसमें प्रॉपर अरेंजमेंट किया था और प्रॉपर तरीके से अभी ऑलमोस्ट सारी कार्रवाई आ चुकी है और हमने प्रॉपर तरीके से ये लोग अपने कैंप में जा रहे हैं लोग और प्रॉपर लाइन वगैरह लग के पूरा इनका हुआ है और काफ़ी अच्छा अरेंजमेंट हो गया है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है.
Security agencies have also carried out extensive area domination exercises and route sanitization ahead of the pilgrimage.
Meanwhile, we are seeing the army in action. The drone systems have been chipped in. They are monitoring the entire tracks, the area where from the yatra will proceed, and also the AI has been given a focus this time. There have been the multiple around 600 CCTV cameras that have been installed that will be monitoring these yatris. So this is the Amarnath Yatra of the 2026, where we see a jam-packed pilgrims number just outside the Srinagar's transit camp.
And we was time for a very, very short break. But on the other side, we bring you the latest updates coming in on the controversial apps, the that stall battery vehicles, bad BMS, and Losiji. They are all said to be banned by the government.
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े।
चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
Yesterday I said that Bhagwant Man's problem is that in the process of covering up one lie, he is lying a second time. So to cover two lies, he lies a third time and a fourth time, and now he's in a big trap. He is doing everything possible to save his job, but it's going to become more and more difficult for him. Plus, I think he has some very foolish advisors. You see, this controversy is about a younger Bhagwant Mann. He's about 52 years now, 52 or 53. And the video apparently goes back to the time he was 39 years old. This is a video he's released. Let me first show you the other video, the controversial video. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a picture of Bhagwant Mann at the age of 39. And visibly, over the last 13 years, he's aged. There's nothing wrong with that. We all age. But then
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ, स्वाद आया?
आया। असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
By the way, viewers, I'm driving in Delhi with Delhi wala boy Aman Gupta, who is too busy waving to his fans than talking to me. Please come down to earth, Aman.
Yes, I am sorry.
You're on my show.
I forgot.
This is not your show. This is my show. Stop waving to your fans. Be modest. Now everybody look. अरे आप politician हो. आप politician हो. आप ये क्या कर रहे हो? This is too much. आपने बोला humble हो, मैं humble हो रहा हूँ.
You became very famous during Balika Badhu. At that time, there was a huge amount of fame and focus. Right?
There was.
People must be writing about you. The paparazzi would have written about you.
There were no paparazzis at that time.
You're not that old. Don't
No, I mean it. There were no paparazzi.
You were no paparazzi at that time.
There were no paparazzis.
This has happened now? There was no Viral Bayani then?
Back then, it was just,
What do you mean back then? No, if you keep talking, I'm over a decade older to you. If you keep saying back then I'll stop driving the car here.
No, I'm sorry. I don't mean...
What am I then? Back then. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday I said that Bhagwant Man's problem is that in the process of covering up one lie, he is lying a second time. So to cover two lies, he lies a third time and a fourth time. And now he's in a big trap. He is doing everything possible to save his job. But it's going to become more and more difficult for him. Plus, I think he has some very foolish advisors. You see, this controversy is about a younger Bhagwant Man. He's about 52 years.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Very good afternoon, viewers. You're watching live and breaking at 2 p.m. with me, Rakta Mishra. The crumbling civic infrastructure. As we talk about Vikasit Bharat, question remains, when will the taxpayer keep paying with his lives? When will the potholes, the open drains, the open manholes be covered? What does it take for the civic bodies to wake up, viewers? Republic TV continues to bring you the stories from ground zero. Let's take you the headlines at 2 p.m. now. Back-to-back cases of civic apathy comes to light. 2 electrocuted after rain. One child drowns into open pit in Mumbai. Two daycare caretakers arrested for allegedly physically abusing toddlers at a daycare in Bengaluru. Prime accused sent to 14-day custody. It's DMK versus TVK intensifying in Tamil Nadu. DMK likely to move Supreme Court over TVK minister's comment on Karur stampede. Government orders removal of controversial app stalling battery vehicles. Apps like BAT, BMS, Lossy to be removed. The first story, viewers, that we are playing out for you is the government's order to remove BAT, BMS, Lossy and Epoch Ion apps that are being misused in remotely disabling battery-operated vehicles like e-rickshaws. Now, any other such apps being misused would also be blocked, is what the government has said in its order. Apps used to control battery-operated vehicles are said to be removed, viewers. Let's get you more details as to what really has happened in this case, viewers. We've seen that there is misuse of certain apps like the BAT BMS, which have been available across platforms like Google Play. And in fact, Harsh is joining us live on the broadcast for more. Harsh, tell us, give us first a background of this story. What are these apps about and what's the controversy surrounding it and what the government has said?
Right, Akshita. Now, what we are seeing is that the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology coming forward to ban all of these Chinese apps from all the available sources, including Play Store and App Store. These are apps that work on battery-operated vehicles that have an unsecured system. Especially e-rickshaws are the battery-operated vehicles in the case of India. And what we are seeing is the misuse of these apps by general public, because these are apps that are very easily available. One of the most common app is BAT BMS. This is again a Chinese app. Now what this app does is establish a connection between the unsecured battery system of an e-rickshaw, and it immediately causes a closure, in fact a complete shutdown of the e-rickshaw when it is used. And what I know, e-rickshaws is a problem across multiple metro cities in this country, but this is very unethical for the people who rely on these sources for their daily wages. And now we are seeing that the government of India, in fact, has come forward. They have ordered an immediate ban on all of these apps, including BAT, BMS. These are, again, China-based apps that run on Bluetooth connection. They establish a connection with these e-rickshaws and they cause an immediate suspension, in fact, closure of the electric system within the EV vehicles that run on Indian roads. And that is turning out to be a menace across different cities. We were seeing social media videos where people are using these apps for all of these bad reasons. And a lot of issues were being caused to these EV rickshaw operators. And now we are seeing the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology coming forward to order a complete suspension, in fact, a complete ban on these Chinese apps. Rakshita.
Right, appreciate you joining us there with those details coming in on that story, Harsha. And meanwhile, viewers, we have some breaking news that's coming in from Tamil Nadu. The DMK MLA, Anita Radhakrishna, has been now arrested. And that's the breaking news we have right now coming in. And we will be bringing you more updates with our reporter joining us from Chennai. Former DMK minister and current MLA from Tiruchendur, Anita R. Radhakrishna, has been arrested by the police. This is in connection with a case filed against him for making demeaning comments against Tamil Nadu Chief Minister and TVK Chief Joseph Vijay. Early today, he had applied for an anticipatory bail, and Madras High Court had declined his bail, stating that any comment that MLA makes should be responsible for any comment that has been made, the MLA is responsible for it. And now he has been arrested. This is the DMK versus TVK politics that's also intensifying on the matter, viewers. And that's the breaking news we have right now. We also have, in fact, Stalin, who has reacted on this. But meanwhile, we have Sharda joining us live on the broadcast from Chennai. Sharda, well, this is an arrest that has taken place now. Tell us what had the DMK leader said, and on what charges, on what counts has he been arrested?
Well, Rakshita, if you remember a few days back, Anita Radhakrishnan had made a comment against Chief Minister Vijay, saying that what his position would be if he had not been selected and come to the assembly position after being the MLA and the Chief Minister, which was filed as a defamation case. FIR was filed against Anita Radhakrishnan, and following that, today an anticipatory bail was heard at the Madras High Court. However, it was rejected because the judge stated that the MLA should not make defamation remarks again, especially personal remarks against the state chief minister, and that's why the anticipatory bail was rejected. And now the police have arrested, and an inquiry is underway for Anita Radhakrishnan in Thoothukudi. He's a Tiruchendur MLA right now and the former DMK minister. So now, right after this arrest, DMK has reacted, telling, especially the MK Stalin has called out the TVK government as a take diversion government, because they have not arrested any of the TVK MLAs who were involved in multiple cases, and multiple cases have been filed against the TVK members and the functionaries as well. No reaction and action was taken against them. But now, once again, the DMK's MLA and the ministers in place, the action is immediately taken. If you notice, today multiple DMK leaders' case have been brought up by the DVAC in corruption, by also the state police in relation to defamation case, the dialogues that they had made when in previous statements, and all that has been brought up by the police before the arrest, and that's the reason now DMK points hands at TVK, telling that it's just a political blame game against the DMK, and the TVK is taking action only against the DMK leaders and not the TVK.
With us, Radha. In fact, we also have a reaction that's coming in right now from DMK President and former Chief Minister MK Stalin on the arrest of DMK MLA Radhakrishnan, as he claimed that TVK is taking that it's a government. All right, just let's take a listen to what he has said. Okay, Sharda, I'll just go across to Sharda before we get that reaction. Sharda, now what has Stalin said? He has in fact claimed that TVK is indulging into diversionary tactics instead of taking action against those of their own leaders who are involved in several cases like sexual assault cases.
Well, the DMK is stating that the TVK is playing games with the DMK and saying that it's a political blame game because the TVK has not taken any action against the TVK leaders who are involved in any cases. Any FIRs filed against them, though no arrests are being made, early investigation. Meanwhile, any cases filed against the DMK, immediately the former ministers, even if it is the former ministers, they do get arrested. He also questions whether the current TVK government is focusing on what's happening in the state or just trying to make sure that the DMK is put at a blame at the end of it for anything that's happening. So today the DMK leaders did have a talk about how to tackle the TVK, and also apart from the higher-ups, even the party other leaders have pointed out, telling the TVK, which claims it to be a corruption-free party, is now taking members from the former AIADMK ministers who have corruption cases against it. So the question arises whether the TVK is just playing a game in front of the people, showing that actions are being taken against DMK former ministers and that anybody who comes to their party are clean and that no action will be taken against them, which shows that the TVK is trying to grab the people in the form of horse trading. MK Stalin in this tweet also mentioned that the TVK government is both a horse trading government, a sofa model government, and is only focusing on changing people's tracks, people's minds where they look at.
All right, Shah, thank you so much for joining us. In fact, Shah also spoke to T.K. Salangwan on the matter. Take a listen to what he had said.
Sir, today MLA Anita Radhakrishnan has been arrested for making a defamatory comment against Chief Minister Vijay. This is the first attack made by the TVK on the DMK government by making their first arrest. Is DMK going to move legally in this?
Definitely we will move legally. See, when we make a comment on the Chief Minister for doing something, it is the duty of the opposition parties to criticize the government. It should not be taken as an attack. It is the attempt, any opposition party will criticize the ruling party for their deeds. That is a common thing. See, when Adavarjuna today, he had said that our leader, Mr. Stalin, was the reason for the death of 41 people in Karur. Is it not an offensive? Will they arrest him for this? They should arrest him for this also. Why they have left him alone? Why they have not arrested him? He has directly attacked our leader, that he is the reason for the death of 41 people.
So while you're mentioning this, DMK is already planning to move the Supreme Court against Minister Adavarjuna's statement. So yesterday he made a statement telling that to make sure that Udayanidhi gets a place in the assembly, MK Stalin had completed the act along with Sendil Balaji.
Yeah, see, they accuse Sendil Balaji for the horse trading. For one MLA, they are playing a game with this. Because they want to accuse DMK also for horse trading. Which means they accept that they are in horse trading. That they want to show that not only we are in horse trading, DMK is also in horse trading. They have got about 7-8 MLAs. DMK, this is an attempt by a team who are not DMK men. They want the blame to be put on Sendil Balaji. What is the purpose of DMK who wants to take one MLA? What are we going to do with one MLA? Are we going to form the government? No. Spending 35 crores for one MLA and purchasing him, when he comes to our party, he has to resign his post. He is no more an MLA after coming to us.
All right, viewers, now we are getting in news from Bengaluru. Now, questions being raised on the SIR exercise in Karnataka. Large-scale rigging of SIR has been reported. BLOs on camera have been caught doing SIR in mosques, wedding halls and private places. Now, this is in violation of the door-to-door mandate of this exercise, which now, this violation in fact goes on to help the illegals with fake addresses on Aadhaar to go to these BLOs than other way around, and claims that, and in fact there are claims made that many of the applicants do not possess the valid documents. And in fact, there are allegations that fake birth certificates are being issued through cyber centers. The state plans to issue permanent residence certificates to such there are claims being made, viewers. I think we have a report, or we connect with a reporter. In fact, Abhishek is joining us on the broadcast. Abhishek, tell us more details about this, these allegations that are being raised.
When the special intensive revision started in across Karnataka, there are various other allegations made by JDS or BJP, the political parties, because in some of the locations, the special intensive revision exercise started in one of the marriage halls, and also we've seen various other instances where it is being conducted in a private marriage hall, in a mosque, and various other places, which is not meant to be done in public places. The actual rule and the code of conduct of the special intensive revision was the officer, the PLA along with the PLO visit the residence of every single voter, hands over the form to respective person of the family, and then gives a couple of days time to make sure that the data has been filled and they collect it in person after the data has been filled in. But there is a severe allegation and a serious allegation stating that fake birth certificates are being produced to make sure that the votes have been included newly, and to make sure that this will be benefiting the government or in any political party. But at this point of time, we've also seen that the state government has, the chief minister has obviously mentioned the fact that none of these exercises should have been done. The government will take stringent action on the people who organize a special intensive revision exercise in one of the marriage halls without the permission of the superior officials. But we are yet to see if there will be a full stop to these kind of events, because not only in Bengaluru, not only in Ramnagar, not only in Vijaypura, in various other parts of the state, this has started. The officials have started conducting the exercise of special intensive revision in public halls to make sure that they can save on time. But on whose orders are these people doing this is the point of question which has been raised by the government itself. And also we've seen politicians from their very own government, the Congress government, raising the questions. And also we have seen BJP and JDS, who's on the opposition side in the state of Karnataka, have mentioned that the government is making sure to spoil the special intensive revision exercise, and this is one of their backdoor tactics.
So you did not. Stay with us. Stay with us. In fact, thank you so much. We will just go across to what H.D. Kumaraswamy had said on this matter as he raises concerns on the process.
Karnataka Election Commission directed to go for the SAR processes in Karnataka. In that process, Karnataka government misusing their power by giving direction to these BLOs. The one incident which occurred in today morning in Ramnagaram, I am showing you. These BLOs, they are inviting all fake identity holders to the Chowdhury, and they are actually doing this process by additionally they are putting in the voter list the fake voters. Already in Karnataka, more than 25 lakh Bangladeshis they are living here. This is actually from last 4-5 years continuously everybody criticizing about the government, the protection by this government for Bangladeshis. In Ramnagaram itself, more than 10,000 Bangladeshis are in Ramnagaram. They are living there, using their voting without any legality. They had wanted to actually addition list, they wanted to do it in this process. I request Honorable Chief Election Commissioner to look into it, take strict action against those people who are involved in this.
And on to the big story, viewers, that we are tracking for you. In fact, this is the state of affairs in a state like Maharashtra, where we see that civic infrastructure continues to be questioned. We see how it's crumbling down, be it any party that governs the civic body. We see that the tragic deaths continue every monsoon. Now, in the latest, 3 tragic deaths have been reported, raising serious questions about civic apathy and contractor negligence. Now, in the latest, we have a case from Pune where a 2-year-old Soham has drowned after falling into a rainwater-filled pit right outside his home. So the pit was dug. There were at least 4 pits that have been dug up. One of them, this was one of them where he fell into, and it was allegedly left open without any safety measures. Police have booked an unidentified contractor in Mumbai, and the fact that it's an unidentified contractor is again a matter of concern. Meanwhile, in Thane's Mumbai, you have a 17-year-old Alia dying of electrocution just this Wednesday evening. She came into contact with a live current wire while walking through a waterlogged stretch near her building's iron gate, and her family says that the complaints about the voltage fluctuation to torrent power were ignored. Police have booked the power officials for negligence, but in Nagpur, the story hasn't been any different. You have in Nagpur, Tajbagh area, 65-year-old Afroza Begum dying right after an electric shock as she was returning from a grocery store. Live current spreading through water accumulated on the road due to negligence.